Back in New England, Mike Riley now in his third year as the head coach of the San Diego Chargers. 1-15 last year, and it shows you what the organization thought of him for him to even retain his job coming into this season. Bill Belichick, second year as the head coach in New England. He has had success, his defenses have, dealing and containing Doug Flutie in the past. And that will be the challenge set out for him today. Wade Ritchie to kick it off. New England has won the toss. They'll receive it. Kevin Falk and Patrick Pass are deep. And the ball comes off the tee, so they'll reset it. We'll get underway. Weather conditions here in Foxborough. It's been a foggy weekend. Yesterday more so than today. We had heard rumors about 70-degree temperatures and sunny skies. Not the case. 59 degrees, very cloudy, humidity is high, and the wind may be a factor, 15 miles an hour.
The wind has been a problem in this stadium in the past, gusting and swirling, and it's going to really affect the quarterbacks as well as the receivers' ability to adjust to the football.
Kevin Falk from the goal line. Off the Ritchie kick, here's Falk, angling to the outside. Falk trying to cut it towards the sideline and twirled down as he crosses the 30-yard line by Ronnie Jenkins on special teams. 32-yard return. Major storyline here today, Tom Brady, the development, just his third NFL start. In for the injured Drew Bledsoe, who is still at least a week away from light workouts. And one thing Bill Belichick told us in our meetings, Tom Brady is the most improved player that he has seen on this roster from last year's team.
And one thing they're impressed with the young quarterback is he hasn't thrown any interceptions. Done a good job of protecting the football, not turning it over.
Terry Glenn has come onto the field in a three-wide receiver look to open up, and a 1st and 10 from the 32. Shotgun, Brady underneath the coverage, able to find his receiver, David Patton, for a gain of 2. He tried to turn it upfield, a modest gain on 1st down. Junior Seau with the stop, along with Molden. Patriots offense, what a recovery for Joe Andruzzi. Injured last week, Andruzzi in the lineup despite the injured knee. Backs and receivers, Antoine Smith. San Diego is familiar with him because of all of their Buffalo connections. We'll get into that momentarily. Terry Glenn will see action today, his first of the season after serving his suspension. On a handoff, Smith up the gut, and not much there. A 2-yard gain up the middle, and Rodney Harrison, first man to greet him. San Diego defense, even amidst the 1-15 season, the defense, they were steady last year. Hard to believe with what they put up in the end. Wiley and Johnson, the bookend pass rushers. The linebackers might as well get a timeshare for Junior Seau in Hawaii, the way that he's been to the Pro Bowl 10 straight years. And the secondary, newcomers, Molden and McNeil, the free agents that John Butler went out and got during the offseason. Out of the shotgun, a flag comes down, and it was Johnson on the rush who may have jumped. We will hear from Terry McCauley, our referee, for the first time today.
Offside, defense, number 99, unabated to the quarterback. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
And it's Ray Lee Johnson. That's his game. He gets to the quarterback. He's got to jump early. You see him right there. Nothing to really draw him off. He just wants to get to the quarterback. 10.5 sacks in the 99 season. Missed most of last year with an injured knee. So he's been having a pretty productive season so far here in the 2001 season. Anxious to get to the quarterback. Just have to time it up a little bit.
Changes a 3rd and 6 to a 3rd and 1. And up the middle for Smith. First down, New England. Out near midfield, a 7-yard burst. And give some credit to Greg Robinson Randall, making that space for Smith to work through.
The Patriots have been trying to find someone to carry the load in the running game since the departure of Curtis Martin, and now Antoine Smith is going to get that opportunity today and pretty much for the most of the season here. So they're going to ask him to do a lot in the running game.
Out of the shotgun from the 49-yard line. Brady again. They set it up for Glenn. His first touch. And Glenn hurdling into San Diego territory and down at the 45-yard line. That's a 7-yard hookup. How much does this change the New England offense, Solomon, getting Terry Glenn back?
I think just his presence on the football field, I think, affects their offense immensely. It takes the double coverage off of Troy Brown, a player who's been very productive as a wide receiver for the Patriots. So just the presence of Terry Glenn on the field, I think, helps to open up the passing game for the Patriots.
What a soap opera it's been. 4-game suspension for violating the league's substance abuse policy. Belichick suspended him for the season when he failed to return to camp, and an arbitrator ruled that he is eligible to come back. Brady on the move, and Brown cannot bring it in. It would have have been a first down throw for New England. Instead, they'll face a 3rd and short.
And I talked to the Patriots offensive coordinator, Charlie Weiss. He told me that we need Tom Brady to come out and be very accurate at the beginning of the game. He struggled with accuracy early in both of their last 2 ball games, and he's come out, he's made a couple of completions, but that drop there by Troy Brown. It's what a young quarterback needs for his receivers to make the crucial catches, particularly when the ball hits them in the hand.
Line of scrimmage is the 44. Kevin Falk has checked in, the 3rd down back on a 3rd and 3. David Patton, the motion man. Flags come down. Junior Seau coming over to make the stop. Look at his uniform. We haven't played 5 minutes of this game.
Well, Junior's going to get dirty. He's a warrior. And that time he came down in the A and B gap, and he likes to time up that blitz when he knows that they're running the football.
Offside. Defense. Number 55. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Well, Seau will take chances. That's part of his game, and sometimes the chances don't work.
You'll see Junior coming up in the gap over the center, Damian Woody, and Bill Belichick says he likes to guess, but 90% of the time he guesses right because he's so good in his film study and his preparation for football games.
Gives them a first down, a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line after the offsides call. Play fake, well done. Brady setting it up, airing it out to the sideline, and Glenn catches cleanly at the 19-yard line. A 20-yard pass and catch, and Terry Glenn getting involved early.
And the play is effective because Tom Brady, as well as the running back, Antoine Smith, they do a good job with the play fake. He'll stick the ball right into his stomach and pull it right out. But this is very poised for a young quarterback. Tom Brady showing some poise on the play action. Excellent route by Terry Glenn. He breaks it off, and he's in position to make the catch. It's an excellent throw, well-designed play. Terry Glenn coming out being very productive early here in the ball game.
We asked Brady about Glenn during the week of practice. He said, I've never seen a more natural athlete. He stepped right in and didn't miss a beat. On first down, Brady, strong throw to the perimeter, and David Patton catches. Alex Moldham forced him out of bounds. A 9 or 10-yard gain, depending upon where they spot the football. And the Patriots in business inside the 10.
This is just a timing route to Patton as he breaks it off. Moldham's just given way too much room here, playing too high and can't react to the pass. Nice pass by Tom Brady and excellent catch by Patton. Just a timing route from the receiver to the quarterback.
How about the poise of Brady? We sat down with him. I know you were impressed.
I was impressed with his confidence. Very young quarterback coming in to replace a guy like Drew Bledsoe, who's thrown for over 3,000 yards in 7 consecutive seasons. Big shoes to fill, but he comes out and he's getting it done early in the ball game. They wanted to get him out to a good start, good rhythm, and he's doing it so far here today.
Inches away from picking up that first down. Drew Bledsoe has been so durable for this New England team through the years. And Tom Brady was just hoping to carve out a niche this year as the backup quarterback. He was brought into camp to compete with Damon Heward, the former Miami Dolphin. Brady wins that backup job, and then poof. After the Jet game, he finds himself as the full-time starter.
He's getting more snaps during the week in terms of preparation, so you're going to see him continue to get better each week as he's getting more snaps with practice and working with the first team.
2nd and inches for this New England offense. First possession of the game. Timing pattern. And incomplete. Terry Glenn in the vicinity in a matchup with Ryan McNeil. It'll be 3rd and short.
And that pass looked like it was overthrown, but really it was just an excellent job by the cornerback for the Chargers. Ryan McNeil did a good job of jamming Terry Glenn at the line of scrimmage and just really disrupted the timing of the route. So excellent defense. You'll see he'll give him a little room, but then he'll jam him just a little bit before the ball comes. And it was just really good play by Ryan McNeil.
3rd and inches. Want to keep this drive going. Inside handoff. Edwards runs into a wall and then pushes himself forward. And it should be enough for a first down. We'll see where they spot it. Just needed a couple of inches after that Patton catch.
Patriots have come out, and I think they've done a good job of mixing the run with the pass and trying to keep this Chargers defense off balance, but the Chargers have had 2 penalties on this drive, one against Ray Lee Johnson and Junior Seau. That tends to help the offense, and that's something I'm sure the defensive coaches for San Diego is really talking to their players. They have to calm down, settle down. This is their 2nd road trip in as many weeks, so they're going to have to settle down, play a little bit better, and not hurt themselves.
New England had just 69 yards passing in that loss to Miami last week, 149 yards of total offense. And now they'll face a 1st and goal from the 9. 3 receivers set, long drive to open this thing up. Doug Flutie chomping at the bit just to get on this field and start making some magic happen. 1st and goal, Brady back. Brady avoids the rush, floats it upstairs and out of the end zone, incomplete. Gerald Dixon was applying that pressure on young Tom Brady, and he did get rid of it.
And the reason why it works, you see, Junior Seau, he comes up into the line, and what that does, it forces the offensive lineman to have to jump to him and try to pass protect, but it frees up another player. In this case, Gerald Dixon, he comes right up the middle, and he's scot-free because so much attention is given to Junior Seau, and he knows how to free up other defensive players in order to make plays. Consummate team player, but he can make big plays in his own right.
2nd and goal from the 9. First man through, it's Edwards, and San Diego sniffed it out. Rayleigh Johnson, first man to wrap him up, and then you saw all the white jerseys join in. That's a gain of 1.
Play selection here, I think, is a tad bit conservative. You get inside the red zone, and you run it with your fullback, Mark Edwards. You have no lead blocker against a defense that's one of the best in the league at stopping the run. I think you have to be a little bit more imaginative in terms of things you're going to do to try to get the ball into the end zone.
Offense has been stagnant throughout the season. Patriot defensive backs have scored more touchdowns than New England wide receivers, 2-1 this year. Not a good sign, week 5.
Not a good sign at all.
3rd and goal from the 8. Brady has the time, puts it upstairs and too high once again for Glenn. It'll be 4th down. Double coverage, Glenn dealing with Molden and Jason Perry, and Brady could not find it.
Yeah, Perry and Molden, they'll just double right outside, coming over the top there, and that's what Terry Glenn is going to bring. He's going to draw the double coverage, so now you have to find other guys to get open. You're going to have to get the ball to Patton and Troy Brown, and I tell you, the tight end has really been absent from the passing game of the New England Patriots, and that's where they really miss a player like Ben Coates.
New England trying to get on the board first. Adam Vinatieri has been perfect this year. 6 of 6 on field goal attempts. This is a 26-yarder. Vinatieri leans into it and bangs it through. So the Patriots with a long drive to open play today against the visiting Chargers. 3-0 New England in front.
反則がやっぱりペトリオッツを逆に助けてしまいましたよね。
そうですよね。ちょっと勢い込んで止めてやろうっていう気持ちが前に出過ぎた感じがあります。
13 play, 60-yard drive for New England. Took up just over 5 minutes of action. A 26-yard field goal for Vinatieri. Kicked it off. Ronnie Jenkins on the return for the Chargers. Here's Jenkins accelerating across the 30-yard line and tackled down to the 32 by Patrick Pass. A 24-yard return. Doug Flutie will direct the San Diego offense when we return.
多少ね、
そういうこと
臆するところ出てきますよね。それを狙ったんですけど、全然うまくいかなかったですね。
さあ、31ヤードのスタート時点は、双方ね。
For the first time this season, San Diego has given up points in the first quarter of a game. They trail New England 3-0, and now Doug Flutie steps onto the field for the first time today to lead this Charger offense. A 1st and 10 from the 32. LaDainian Tomlinson, the dynamic rookie running back, gets the call on the first play from scrimmage for San Diego, and he gains 3. Bobby Hamilton with the stop. Well, Flutie is from Natick, Massachusetts, about 22 miles away from Foxborough, and he still keeps his residence here, but he did stay with the team in the team hotel the last 2 nights. You know, team curfew, he's got to deal with those kinds of issues.
So focus and concentration. Yeah.
Flutie excited. He knows that a lot of fans were on his side in the pregame warm-ups, but he said once the game started, these are Patriot fans, not Flutie fans.
Right.
2nd and 7 from the 35. Flutie puts it in the air for the first time and zings it near side. Nowhere near Jeff Graham. It'll be 3rd and 7. Let's take a look at this San Diego offense. Much improved offense. Offensive line has been better than a year ago. Only 5 sacks allowed so far. They gave up 50 last year. McIntosh, Roundtree, Jaycox, Graham, and Vaughn Parker. Backs and receivers. Well, yes, Flutie has been a huge key, but without the man they're calling the offensive LT, LaDainian Tomlinson, I'm not sure this team would be 3-1 right now.
Well, he's an all-purpose back. Prides himself on doing everything well, not just running the ball, but pass catching and blocking as well.
Crowd getting into it early on a 3rd and 7. Flutie way back in the pocket. Floats it out. Graham makes the catch and then hit quickly by Tabucky Jones. A gain of 4. They needed 7. And San Diego is forced to punt.
Bill Belichick came out and said, hey, we have to win on 3rd down. Something they didn't do a good job last week down in Miami. And already they come out and force the Chargers to have to put the ball in the air. They're facing the 3rd and medium. But they just come up, keep everything in front of them. Nice tackle, nice hit by Tabucky Jones on Jeff Graham.
And we'll get into what Belichick has figured out over the years in dealing with Flutie. And the key is mixing it up and changing it up, showing him different looks. Darren Bennett, who struggled the last 2 weeks for San Diego, gets a pretty good punt off. And it takes a Charger roll inside the 10. Troy Brown had backed off it. And it'll cost New England field position. 53-yard punt. And the Patriots pin back. They lead it 3-0 here in the first. Doug Flutie's Chargers coming off a 20-16 loss in Cleveland last week. They let one slip away. Could have moved to 4-0 for the first time since 1994, but give Tim Couch and the Browns some credit, a much improved football team. A 5-receiver look to open up for New England. On a 1st and 10 from their own 9. Brady straight back. Brady in some trouble. And sacked. Back at the 1-yard line by Ray Lee Johnson.
We told you Ray Lee Johnson is a guy that he's the sack master on this defense. And what you expose yourself to when you go no backs and spread it out, there's no one to protect the quarterback. He's got to get rid of the ball much sooner because there's no extra protection to help the offensive lineman once you get some leakage. And Ray Lee Johnson just comes right through and gets the sack on Tom Brady. You expose yourself when you have no backs back there. Quarterback has to get rid of the ball much sooner.
Loss of 7 on the play, the 3rd sack of the season for Ray Lee Johnson. And now a 2nd and 17 for New England. Flags come down. Tom Brady in a passing situation. He was going back to throw it from his own end zone.
False start. Offense. Number 77. Half the distance to the goal. 2nd down.
That's the veteran Mike Compton, the former Lion, on the left side of that New England offensive line.
You want to avoid making mistakes anywhere on the football field. When you get down in the shadow of your own end zone, you really have to play more perfect and be more exact in the things you do, whether it's pass protection, getting rid of the ball sooner as the quarterback, and even holding your place on the offensive line.
1-yard penalty now, 2nd and 18. Trying to break free, David Patton. And Brady put it on time to the 10-yard line, a gain of 8.
Much better job by Brady there, getting rid of the ball, recognizing the coverage, and finding the open man. He's a young quarterback, so he's going to have some moments where he doesn't quite do the right thing, but here he does. He recognizes the coverage, and he's going with one guy all the way, and he gets rid of the ball before he gets hit. Good job by Tom Brady, standing in the pocket, delivering the ball very accurately while under pressure.
Patriots, a 30-10 domination in Miami last week, but they were on the wrong side of it. Brady steps up and throws it. Complete. Troy Brown out across the 25-yard line. And a new set of downs for New England to work with on that 17-yard hookup.
Tom Brady working on 3rd down, and he does a really good job squeezing this in between Rodney Harrison and Tay Cody, number 27, coming over to play coverage on Troy Brown. But this is an excellent throw by Tom Brady. I'm impressed with the poise that he's had, but Troy Brown getting open now with the double coverage that is being given over to the other side by Terry Glenn.
On 1st down, play action. Brady tried to dump it off in the direction of Mark Edwards. It's incomplete. Pressure again being applied by Ray Lee Johnson.
Yeah, he's being pressured, but very poised for the young quarterback. It's a very difficult pass. He understands he's going to get sacked, so he's getting rid of the football. Only threw it in the direction of his fullback, Mark Edwards, but threw the ball right into the ground just to avoid the sack, reset the play, and you know what? You come back up at 2nd and 10 and give yourself a chance to create some positive yards and avoid the sack.
Play selection so far for this New England offense, 4 rushes, 12 passing plays. And And a 2nd and 10 on the pitch. Kevin Falk tried to juke his way forward and couldn't fake out Orlando Ruff. It's a loss of 3.
And I'm not sure if it was a broken play, but Kevin Falk took the toss from Tom Brady and appeared to not know which way he wanted to go. But the line's pulling that way. He needs to continue and get upfield, get outside of the defense. I don't know if that play was well contained. He seemed to not have an understanding of where he wanted to go with the football once he received the toss from Tom Brady.
Now a 3rd and 13 from the 23. Under 6 minutes to play here in the opening quarter. New England leading at 3-0. Spread formation, 4 receivers. Operating out of the shotgun. Brady. Floating toss. And Glenn could not grab it. A little bit high. And it looked ugly coming off the fingertips of Brady. And Glenn might have been sensing Rodney Harrison.
I think Glenn was pulling the arms down a little quick there. It certainly hit him in the hands. The ball did sail high on Tom Brady. He's throwing under pressure. But this is a catch that Terry Glenn has to make. But, you know, Tom Brady said, hey, he's the most natural athlete of Terry Glenn. He's the guy that if anyone could do it, just walk right onto the field and produce for you. He felt like Terry Glenn could do that. But as you see, he's far less than 100%.
A shank off the side of the foot of Lee Johnson. Tim Dwight tried to move forward, attempting to scoop it up, but it didn't even have enough mustard on it to get down to the 45-yard line. That's a 30-yard punt from Johnson in great field position for the Chargers.
ここでサンディエゴは絶好のフィールドポジションを持ってましたね。
そうですよ。まだ3対0ですからね。
そうですそうです。
はい、もう全然焦る必要もありませんし。
そういうことです。まだゲームは始まったばかりです。
And 1st and 10 for San Diego from the 47. Off play action, Flutie in the air and on time for Curtis Conway into New England territory, and a 1st down for San Diego for a 17-yard pass play. Malloy and Law in on the coverage. Take a look at the New England defense. Not big names as Roman Pfeiffer continues to get the start ahead of Willie McGinnis, who is available for this team. No Teddy Bruschi today, out with a knee injury, so Ted Johnson shifts over to the outside. And the secondary, Law and Smith, Jones and Malloy up the middle. 1st and 10 now from the 36. On a give. Tomlinson fighting for yardage, and he picks up 3. Ted Johnson, first man there. Well, LaDainian Tomlinson grew up watching Emmitt Smith. He's out of Waco, Texas. He was a Cowboy fan and then had a chance to meet Emmitt. And his whole perspective of the running back position changed after he spoke with Emmitt and Jerome Bettis.
Yeah, he's talked about being a complete back, and every down back, one who plays on 3rd down, one who can help protect the quarterback, also being able to catch the ball out of the backfield and run the ball on screens as well as from behind the line of scrimmage.
On a 2nd and 8, Flutie to the outside, and Jeff Graham. Graham extending forward out across the 25-yard line. Mike Vrabel brought him down low. A 9-yard gain and a 1st down. Right now, let's head to New York at an NFL Today update with Jim Nantz.
First down Chargers, Patriot 24.
Well, Jimmy, I think Baltimore did get a wake-up call with the Cincinnati Bengal game. You getting that sense?
Absolutely. They've been a juggernaut ever since, playing really well on both sides of the ball.
Little miscommunication, it doesn't matter. LaDainian Tomlinson bursting through the middle. And out to the 15-yard line, a 9-yard scamper.
Well, you talk about LaDainian Tomlinson's ability, or at least his desire to be a complete back. This is one of the things he also talked about, is not only being a back who can press the hole and bounce outside. We know he's a cutback runner, but he runs very strong in between the tackles as well. When he came into the room yesterday, I was really impressed with the size of his lower body and his thighs. He's not a small back, very powerful lower body.
2nd and 1 now, San Diego on the move. Under 3 minutes to play in the 1st. Motion man is Freddie Jones. Flutie on the give. Tomlinson trying to push the pile and couldn't do it. Ted Johnson among those there defensively for the Patriots. That was on a 2nd and 1, no gain. It'll be 3rd and short.
This Patriots defense has been a little inconsistent. Last week they were creased for 144 yards by Lamar Smith of the Dolphins, but you can see they're stuffing the run right here. They bring 18 new players, free agent players to this team, so they're trying to become more cohesive as a unit. I think this team, defensively anyway, is going to get better as the season goes on.
3rd and 1. Tomlinson, he's got the 1st down. closing back picks up 5 down to the 10.
Jones on the tackle.
And this is just good blocking up front, but it's also Tomlinson hitting it up in there. He's not looking to bounce this. He's going right underneath, behind his fullback, and he just hits it up in there. Not a really big back, but we talk about the strength of his lower body. He's hitting it up in there. Very courageous running. Running it right behind his fullback. He's taking it right up in there. Have to give him credit. Fred McQuarrie is blocking for his tailback. LaDainian Tomlinson, very productive so far in his first 4 games this season.
A first and goal just inside the 10. They cannot pick up another first down. San Diego trailing 3-0. Flutie throw incomplete. Graham made a diving attempt. We talked to Jeff Graham about Doug Flutie. He said, hey, the ball is there. You turn around, the ball is there. You don't always see Doug throwing it.
And Jeff Graham just loses his footing here and falls down, and that's why he's not able to get to the corner and be in position to make the reception. But you're right. He says, you can't see where Doug is, but you have to find the ball while it's in flight. That's not an easy thing to do for receivers. It's very challenging when you're playing with a guy like Doug. You said, but Doug has perfect timing.
On second and goal, draw play. Tomlinson taking it to the outside, diving for the goal line. The ball popped loose off the turf.
Tomlinson on the carry.
Tomlinson is down inside the 1.
We already showed you Tomlinson hitting it up inside underneath the tackles, but this one's going to come right at you. He'll press the hole. He goes vertical, then he goes lateral. He bounces it outside, and that's just speed. Gets outside of Roman Pfeiffer, and he heads for the corner of the end zone, not for the tackle of Lawyer Malloy. That would be a touchdown because it was very close.
Knee was down, though, as he extended the body. Now they've got to earn it on a third and goal, a tight formation. Chargers looking for the lead. Flutie on a give. Tomlinson tried to cut it back and no room to work with. Ryan Cox read it perfectly. And the New England defense held Tomlinson to no gain.
Among those 18 free agent players to join the Patriots, of course, is the veteran Brian Cox. Roman Pfeiffer does a good job of turning it back into Cox, and Cox does a good job of filling the lane, giving Tomlinson nowhere to run. You can see off the defensive end, number 95, Roman Pfeiffer, getting up the field, turning it back inside to 51 Cox. And that's the way you play team defense.
A short field goal attempt for Wade Ritchie, former 49er. 21 yards away, and Ritchie puts it through. We are tied at 3 as time has run out here at the end of the first quarter. Much more coming up. 3-3, New England and San Diego. Start of the second quarter. Welcome back, everybody. Ian Eagle, Solomon Wilcox, our entire CBS crew with you from Foxborough. Kevin Falk waiting with Patrick Pass. After the 21-yard field goal from Wade Ritchie, you see the drive, 10 plays, 50 yards. Frustrating for San Diego, though, because Solomon last week, they were inside the Cleveland 6-yard line 3 times. They only had 1 touchdown to show for it.
And that time they had the short field, only had to go 50 yards to get a field goal because of the poor punt by Patriots punter Lee Johnson. So you have to take advantage of those opportunities. But if you're the Patriots, you have to really be happy with your defensive unit and keeping San Diego out of the end zone.
San Diego has never won in 6 trips here to Foxborough. Kevin Falk on the return. Short kick from Ritchie. Falk's got a lane. And he's brought down from behind at the 34-yard line by Derek Harris. Flag on the play. 24-yard return for Kevin Falk. San Diego has been penalized twice so far. New England just once.
During return, holding, receiving team, number 53, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Tom Brady gets another crack at this San Diego defense. Early second quarter action continues in a moment. All tied up 3-3 at the 14:52 mark of the second quarter. San Diego and New England. Patriots with a first and 10 from their own 12-yard line. Rod Rutledge, the motion man. Fakes the handoff. Here's Brady to throw it. Airing it out. Brady on a deep ball. And dropped. David Patton had it on his fingertips in double coverage. Molden and Harris comparison, stride for stride.
Well, you said that the receivers have to really come out and help a young quarterback like Tom Brady. When he would have a chance to catch the football, you have to come down with it. This is an excellent throw. And Patton, you can see it right off the fingertips, but excellent throw by Tom Brady, launching that ball up the field. Patton has to make those catches. He's the third receiver in this offense, and you're going to double the outside guys. Patton's going to be in one-on-one coverage. Has to make the play.
And he's been the starter because of Terry Glenn's absence. Patton has been a go-to guy. Brady, quick drop and a quick throw. Over the head of Antoine Smith. Wasn't even looking towards the quarterback's direction. It sailed over his head.
Well, Brady had to get rid of this ball because Junior Seau was just breathing right down the middle. He's coming smoking, but you see Seau has a way of getting in there. Actually, this is not Seau. They bring a number of different guys, and this is Orlando Ruff in the middle linebacker position coming in, putting the heat on Tom Brady. Looks like Seau.
Well, you start seeing Seau all over the place because they'll line up on the left, in the middle, on the right. 4 receiver look on a 3rd and 10. Shotgun for Brady. Here comes the rush. Brady steps up. Brady under heat. Tried to unload it to the far side, but too low for Patrick Pass. Again, Riley Johnson was grabbing at the jersey of Brady.
Well, the Chargers have got pressure on Brady with regularity. The offensive line for the Patriots is going to have to shore up just a little bit here. You can see Riley Johnson coming off. You've got even the running back, Antoine Smith, is chipping away, trying to help Matt Light. Matt Light has got to do a much better job on Riley Johnson. He's been getting beat most of the first quarter and here so far in the second quarter.
Lee Johnson, 30-yard punt on his first attempt. And this one does take a New England roll. He's fortunate. Did not put it high in the air, and it rolls out of bounds as it crossed the 45-yard line of San Diego. 3-3, Chargers at Patriots. All not enough.
ボールのパントの彼はレコードを持ってる人で、もう17年目のベテランなんですが、ちょっと今日 1,2 本おかしいですね。
おかしいですね。
Injuries continue to be a problem for this New England team. The talented weak side linebacker Teddy Bruschi sitting this one out with a banged up knee. So Ted Johnson has stepped into his spot. Johnson hasn't been 100% this year. McGinnis has been struggling with injuries. Obviously, we know about Bledsoe. And those primetime players for New England, they have not been leading this team. Flutie on a first down. Up in the air and complete. Tim Dwight, the 3rd receiver for San Diego, finds a seam and then has some words following the play with Lawyer Malloy. 18 yards through the air. Now for the best NFL info on the net, including expert analysis, in-depth team reports, go to cbs.sportsline.com or AOL keyword CBS Sportsline. It'll be a 1st and 10 from San Diego at the New England Patriot 39-yard line. Still early on in the second quarter, tied at 3. Flutie in a 3-receiver set. Flutie scrambled, flag down. Flutie on the move, throwing on the run, out of bounds.
Now you see Norv Turner in this San Diego Chargers offense coming out looking to take some shots deep against the Patriots. He's an aggressive play caller, came out working the run, and now they're starting to take some shots in the passing game.
The rush was coming, and Tomlinson tried to deal with it.
Offense, number 21, 10-yard penalty, first down.
He held on to Mike Vrabel.
Yeah, Vrabel was the guy coming through, applying the pressure. And we talked to Belichick. He says the way you defend Doug Flutie, you have to work the edges. What that means is he wants to contain Flutie. Don't let him get outside. And that time, Vrabel was coming from the outside and applying the pressure. Doug was able to get outside, but only because LaDainian Tomlinson was holding on.
Something Belichick has done in the past is put a spy on Flutie, where that is the lone objective for that one player. He wouldn't tip his hand, though, and we spoke with him a couple of days ago. Flutie. Sideline throw, it's complete. Jeff Graham able to haul it in at the 32-yard line. Otis Smith had the coverage on the near side. That's good for 16 yards.
He's working against Otis Smith. He gets Smith to turn his hips, then breaks back toward the sideline. It's enough time for Flutie to get the ball there. Jeff Graham said that Flutie, his timing in his passing has been really well. And there you can see Graham comes out of the break, and the ball's right there ready for him to make the reception inbounds.
Graham and Smith, former teammates with the New York Jets. Now a 2nd and 4. Freddie Jones, the tight end, the motion man. On the toss, here's Tomlinson, turning it upfield and spun down as he crosses the 30. That's a 3-yard gain. Otis Smith, first man there, along with Richard Seymour, the rookie.
Tomlinson does a good job of working behind his fullback, Fred McQuarrie. He just sees the kickout blocked by his fullback and he hits it up inside. He doesn't hesitate. He sees a hole and he's very aggressive in attacking the hole and pressing the line of scrimmage and gaining positive yards.
As they continually shuffle defensive players, McGinnis has checked in for Vrabel. And this is a 3rd and 1. Crowd urging on the defense. Tomlinson gets the call, puts the head down, and picks up the first down. Needed 1, he got 2, and they'll move the chains.
You can see Tomlinson just a little frustrated, knowing that it's a big hole there. He keeps his foot, He may even gain more yards on the play, but he's certainly really good, I think, with his vision and finding the soft spot in the defense and attacking the hole. A young runner, he runs with instincts, as he told us yesterday.
Well, they've been dealing with a lot of good running backs so far this season. New England and Romeo Crennel, their defensive coordinator. And in 3 of the 4 games, they've given up 100 yards rushing, other than Edgerrin James. Trying to figure that one out. Flutie on the quick toss over the middle. And Terrell Fletcher, the change of pace back, the shifty running back, picks up 9 on the pass and catch. Stevens and Law combine to make the stop. Let's head to New York right now. Jim Nantz has another NFL Today update. Well, if you give one guy in this league a chance to go against that Baltimore defense and find some cracks, Favre might be that guy.
Such a strong arm. He only needs a seam to get the ball in there.
On a 2nd and 1, Flutie inside handoff. And Fred McQuarrie getting a rare carry up the middle for a gain of 2.
Fred said, all the blocking I'm doing for Tomlinson, give me the ball, let me share it every now and then. He gets this obligatory carry of the game, and now he'll go back to doing the dirty work and blocking for his tailback.
Just his 2nd carry of the season. McQuarrie, one of the locker room leaders on this San Diego team. Been with him since 1999, a former Saint and former Philadelphia Eagle. And LaDainian Tomlinson is fortunate to have a sturdy fullback in front of him. On a 1st and 10, Flutie, handoff. Tomlinson spinning. And Richard Seymour was able to get a paw on a 3-yard gain off that move from Tomlinson. And San Diego just methodically moving the football now as they're inside the red zone at the 14-yard line.
Defensive coordinator Romeo Crennel, as well as the head coach Bill Belichick, says we have to hold the Chargers to less than 3 yards a pop. And as you can see, the first down play here is a 3-yard run by Tomlinson. So they're going to have to do a better job of shoring up the run and making the tackles a little bit sooner. Hopefully in the backfield.
On a 2nd and 7, flags down. And this play never gets going.
It's because they jumped the wide receiver, Jeff Graham.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense. Number 81, 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
It is the veteran Graham.
Well, Graham was a little anxious to get into his route. You know it's a pass play when the receivers are jumping. They're anxious to get into the route. They're not so anxious to run down the field and block. Not that they won't, not that they're not willing, but certainly a little bit more anxious to get into the route and try to make a big play in the pass.
We asked Graham about adjusting to the new offense under Norv Turner. He said, hey, he didn't have to sell it to us. We know his resume. We knew the offense was going to be better.
Well, this offense is a vertical stretch. It allows the receivers to get up the field and catch balls while they can run for more yards. So they're catching the balls at 10, 12 yards deep, not the dink and dunk offense that you see maybe sometimes in the West Coast offense.
Now a 2nd and 12. Flutie wants to throw it. Flutie steps up to the end zone. Incomplete. In the vicinity, Curtis Conway. And Flutie skied that one too high.
And I think that's what you have to do as you're going into the red zone. You're at the 20-yard line. You have to take some shots deep while you still have some field left. But Matt Stevens comes over from the safety position as Flutie's looking to get the ball into Curtis Conway. That one sailed high, and you know what? Had it been any lower, I'm not sure if that ball would not have been intercepted. The free safety, Matt Stevens, comes over and plays it very well.
Very good defensive help in the end zone that Smith got from Stevens. You're right. clock was winding down, and Flutie uses a timeout. We'll step aside at the 9:14 mark of the second quarter. 3-3, the Chargers and the Patriots all tied up.
さあこのタイムアウトでどういう考えを巡らしますか。とにかく今サンディエゴがチャンスを迎えておりますが、ちょっとやっぱり
Off the San Diego timeout, Chargers face a 3rd and 12 from the 19-yard line. Fletcher the lone setback. Flutie, deep drop. Flutie has the time, now looking to run it, and nowhere to go. Gains a yard. He got back to the line of scrimmage and picked up one. Willie McGinnis made sure that Flutie was going down quickly, and San Diego has to settle for a field goal attempt.
And that time, Belichick does a good job of really, I think, designing the defense to stop Flutie. As you can see in the past over 6 games, this is the number to really look at. Flutie only completing less than 59% of his passes against Belichick so far today. He's doing a little bit better, 6 of 9 at 75%, so he's learning, I think, to sort of crack the code to Bill Belichick's defense so far here today.
36-yard field goal attempt. Bennett will hold it. Wade Ritchie with the kick. No good. Wide to the left. And San Diego comes up empty. This game remains tied at 3-3. Second quarter action continues in a moment.
いや今のは決めたかったですね。
いや
勝ち越したかったですね。
はい、そうですよね。
そんなに長くないね、フィールドゴールですから。
でも
3-3, San Diego and New England all knotted up. Tonight on the CBS Sunday Movie, they were TV's original survivors, but behind the scenes, Gilligan's Island was no paradise. Find out what went on when the cameras were off. Don't miss the world premiere movie, Surviving Gilligan's Island, tonight on CBS. I was more of a Mary Ann guy.
I was more of a Ginger guy.
I thought you were a Lovey guy.
No, Ginger.
You didn't like Lovey, Hal? Up the middle for a loss of 1. John Perella makes the stop on Mark Edwards, and it will be 2nd and 11 from the 26-yard line.
Perella, one of the leaders on this defense, along with Junior Seau and Rodney Harrison, but need guys down in the trenches who can make plays, and Perella is that guy. He was one of the guys that showed up at the press conference when Doug Flutie came on board. He was one of the first guys to say, hey, we're happy to have you, and gave Doug a warm welcome to San Diego.
2nd and 11, Troy Brown is the motion man. Harrison now crowding the line of scrimmage. They'll throw it underneath, but David Patton creating after the catch, and brought down from behind by Ryan McNeil. Patton got the step on McNeil and used the angle.
Patton looking to make up for that pass that he dropped earlier, but this time he has sure hands and he's able to make a move on McNeil after he makes the catch, and a little stiff arm buys more time and more room to pick up the first down.
So they'll move the change. Line of scrimmage is now the 37. Clock is moving with 7:15 to go in the first half. A quick moving first half here in Foxborough.
Very quick moving. That's because they're mixing in quick passes with the running game, and the defenses are playing really well also.
San Diego with wins over Washington, Dallas, and Cincinnati. Those teams' combined record is 2-10 entering action. Here's Brady, has the time. Brady guns it over the middle. Diving attempt. And Troy Brown could not haul it in.
We talked about Tom Brady having problems with his accuracy early in the game. I think he's been doing a good job so far, but he has time to complete this pass, and I think it was just a little wobbly. I think the accuracy bug has jumped up to bite him once again.
Late flag was thrown.
Defense, number 47, 5-yard penalty, automatic first.
So off that late flag, hands to the face called on the 9th-year veteran Ryan McNeil, who was the AFC's Defensive Player of the Month in September. Leads the NFL with 5 picks.
He's always been very productive. Had 9 interceptions in a stint with the St. Louis Rams, so he can pick off the ball, and he knows how to cover in the National Football League. 1st and 10 now from the 42.
Brady on the rollout. Little touch pass and knocked away. Alex Mogan with a stick on Antoine Smith. And Smith is fortunate he didn't have complete possession of that ball. He would have been free.
Absolutely. Alex Moden does a good job of reading the screen on this play. He's playing the ball, and that's how you do it. You go through the man to the ball. Good things are going to happen. Not only does he almost come up with the interception, but he's able to break up the pass. Very violent collision. Alex Moden coming in a very physical sense, taking on a big back. But here you see he's playing through the man, going right to the ball, and almost takes it right out of the hands of Antoine Smith.
In fact, he had it for a moment.
He sure did.
2nd and 10 now from the 42. Chargers showing blitz. Brady does have the protection. Brady steps up and throws. Complete. Terry Glenn into San Diego territory and down at the 41-yard line.
Patriots do a good job of picking up the blitz with Junior Seau coming up the middle. And Tom Brady's very poised. That means Terry Glenn's going to be in one-on-one coverage against Alex Moden, and he breaks out of it. But the timing of the pass is really crucial. You see him picking up the blitz. Great job by the offensive line of the Patriots. And Brady steps up in the pocket, delivers the ball accurately to his receiver, Terry Glenn, drawing one-on-one coverage.
Terry Glenn, Pro Bowl talent. That has never been questioned. Still one of the most dangerous offensive weapons in the National Football League. And he's been in 6 so far. Brady misdirection, and Edwards fell down. The play appeared to be going right, and then Brady threw left. Edwards in one-on-one coverage.
Yeah, he just sort of rolls a half roll to his right because he knows the ball's coming back left to his fullback, working against the tight end. And Mark Edwards is a fine receiving fullback out of the backfield, having played with the San Francisco 49ers, used to catching the ball. He's a fine blocker also. I think the ball was a little overthrown. Mark Edwards trying to get back to the football and slipped and could not maintain his footing.
Mark did have a fumbling problem last year with the Cleveland Browns. It hasn't been a huge issue this year with New England. 5 receivers set. That's a movement. Brady steps up and throws it. Far side Glenn. Lunging forward, he loses his helmet and was unable to get to the marker. It's a 9-yard gain.
It's an excellent tackle by Ryan McNeil because Terry Glenn had a step on him. He was able to get open and made the reception. But Ryan McNeil does a good job of keeping him from reaching the sticks and getting the first down. And you can see he's got room there. But McNeil just squares up, makes a fine tackle, and now it's going to be 3rd and short. But Glenn has been very effective here early in the ball game. And this is something that the Patriots have not had in their first 4 games this season, is I think multiple targets in terms of people to get the ball to.
Brian Cox has lined up as a fullback. Brady throwing. It's Cox making the catch and brought down at the 22-yard line. You want a little trickery? I don't think San Diego prepared for that.
Charlie Weiss and Bill Belichick, they put the defensive player Brian Cox in the backfield, and I don't know why the San Diego Chargers defense doesn't smell a rat here. You know he's not going to block. He's going to do something. You have to keep an eye on him, but he slips out into the flat. Tom Brady gets him the ball. How about that? A linebacker making a nice catch and then picking up the first down.
On an inside handoff for Antoine Smith, and he picks up 2 yards. New England fans, it might be new to them, but with the Jets, we did see Charlie Weiss, as the offensive coordinator, use Brian Cox in certain situations coming out of the backfield.
And that's something you have to be aware of going into a game. You know certain coaches like to do certain things, and they know players well. Of course, Brian Cox was over with the New York Jets, comes over to the Patriots, and he's one of the many Jets guys that have come over to play for this football team. One of 5, Roman Pfeiffer and Anthony Pleasant, Otis Smith, as well as Bobby Hamilton. So these guys know this defense really well. But you know what? When you get Brian Cox making plays on the offensive side of the ball, then that's something special.
2nd and 8 now. Kevin Falk came in initially in the backfield, now sets up as a receiver, top of your screen. And a timeout call. San Diego takes the timeout. They use their second, only 1 remaining until halftime. We're tied at 3 with 4:01 to go in the second quarter.
と思うんですけど、やっぱり人の人脈みたいなもの
ありますからね。
どこでも生きてますから。
そういうことですね。
で特に自分が
And a 2nd and 8 for the Patriots. 5 receiver look. Line of scrimmage is the 21. Again crowding the line, San Diego. Now they back off. Brady. Look at the time he has. Brady to the end zone. Touchdown. Terry Glenn. Does he help this offense? You answer the question.
He absolutely does, because he has double coverage here. Ryan McNeil and the safety Rogers Beckett, they're covering Terry Glenn over in the corner of the end zone, but he gets under the quarterback, and Tom Brady has the poise to drill it in there. So Tom Brady came in believing in Terry Glenn, and Glenn has answered.
Extra point attempt from Adam Vinatieri. And it's no good.
His kick is no good.
So the New England Patriots put 6 on the board instead of 7.
But they have to be pleased with the production that Terry Glenn has given them so far here in the ball game. He's drawing double coverage and he's winning. Junior Seau fakes the blitz, and Brady's very poised in the pocket. He's looking all the way at Terry Glenn. That's his guy to go to, but you can see he gets under the coverage and beat Ryan McNeil over in the corner. Here's Glenn. He's working to the corner of that end zone. And McNeil has good position, but Glenn does a good job of shielding him off and creating room for Tom Brady to squeeze that ball in there. And you have to give the veteran credit. Terry Glenn missed 2 months absent from practice, training camp, and missed the first 4 games of the season. He comes out and he's very productive.
First NFL touchdown pass for Tom Brady, and now the downside. Adam Vinatieri on the extra point.
I think that ball's blocked.
They got a piece. It looked like Ed Ellis.
Absolutely. The ball came up clean and very accurately. It came up real straight. And then someone from the San Diego Chargers defense appeared to deflect that ball and get a hand on it.
It appeared to be 69 Ed Ellis that did deflect it a bit. So instead of the 10-3 advantage, it's 9-3 New England.
And the coaches told us, we asked, how much is Terry Glenn going to play? They said, you know what? Depends on how many big plays he can make early in the ball game.
Short kick, Ronnie Jenkins from the 5. Jenkins, middle of the field. Jenkins crossing the 30 and brought down to the 33-yard line. 28-yard return to Terrence Shaw. Able to bring him down. Coming up next, doubleheader action continues. Jay Fiedler leads the Dolphins against Curtis Martin and the Jets. Or Brian Griese and the Broncos take on Trent Dilfer and the Seattle Seahawks. That's coming up next, second half of the doubleheader. NFL action here on CBS. First and 10 from the 33 for the San Diego Chargers, now trailing New England 9-3. Chargers hoping to improve to 4-1. This is a crossroads game for New England. Getting to the backfield, firing through. It's Lawyer Malloy, and Tomlinson got spun down for a loss of 3.
And this is how Lawyer Malloy wants to play football. He told us, he said, I want to be one of the 8th men in the box. I need to be right at the point of attack. That's where he plays best. And he'll come right up. He likes playing in this box where he can make his plays. He knows Tomlinson only has one hole to go through, and he closes in fast before Tomlinson can get going. That's what Lawyer Malloy is used to. Wants to do more of that instead of playing back on the hash marks in the passing game.
2 of the best safeties in football on display here today with Malloy and Harrison crowding the line. Quick throw, and Tim Dwight, he can explode. Dwight crossing into New England territory. So after a big play defensively from Malloy and the Patriots, they give up a 25-yard hookup.
And North Turner, he's going to challenge this defense. He's going to be very aggressive in the play calling. This is just a quick slant. And he just makes plays right here. That's Tim Dwight. He's just really, I think, eluding the tacklers. He's very quick and he's very small. 5'9", 180. It's very tough to get a hand on him, but he's very quick at making tacklers miss. He's very courageous, I think, going in the heart of that defense and catching the ball on the slant.
Former track star at Iowa is with the Atlanta Falcons, involved in that deal with Michael Vick. Flutie in some trouble. Here's Flutie. Finding an opening and finding an open man. LaDainian Tomlinson turns it upfield. What could have been a huge loss as Tomlinson is able to hurdle the New England bench, turns into a 4-yard gain, and that's all Flutie being chased by Richard Seymour.
And the fans are a little divided. They want to applaud Flutie for doing his thing here. This is what he does best. He gets outside, and you know what? He buys time. He's able to make Richard Seymour miss on that play, and he spins back and finds an open guy, but the magic of Doug Flutie is still there, and Tomlinson gives him a target, and he's able to advance the ball up the field and create a positive situation for the San Diego Diego Chargers.
Doug Flutie, 12-1 record as a starter all-time in this stadium, going back to his college days at BC. His team, though, trails New England 9-3 as we hit the 2-minute warning here in the second quarter. 9-3 New England lead. Coming up next, our halftime report. Jim, Mike, Randy, and Jerry have all the scores, highlights, latest NFL news, plus a CBS News update, America on Guard. That's coming up on the next halftime report. On a 2nd and 6 now from the 41. Terrell Fletcher in the backfield. Flutie on a quick throw. Slant play, Jeff Graham. And it works to perfection for a first down. Terrell Buckley had the coverage. 14 yards through the air.
And normally the Patriots defense does a good job of adjusting. They've yet to make any adjustments to San Diego Chargers passing game. They've constantly thrown the ball on these slant plays, going over to Tim Dwight, to Jeff Graham, and Curtis Conway. They've all caught some slant plays, and I don't think the Patriots have done anything to adjust to it. They're going to have to get safeties coming over the top and try to get them in that seam where they're hitting the flat.
Doug Flutie turns 39 later this month, and another completion for Flutie. Tim Dwight getting involved in the offense. 11 yards, and they'll move the chains again, down to 1:14 and counting left in the first half.
And that time, Tim Dwight was working against a safety to Bucky Jones. And Flutie loves this. If you're not going to put pressure on him, he's able to drop back, 3-step drop, get rid of the ball, and find his guys underneath.
We hit 1 minute to play in the second quarter. A 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line. San Diego is driving. Flutie misdirection. Throwing. Incomplete. He threw it to the sideline, and Anthony Pleasant was applying some pressure. What was in the area?
Yeah, Pleasant did a good job of trying to contain Doug Flutie, because this was a sprint out from the word go. And it's the pressure by Pleasant, I think, that allows this ball to go out of bounds. And Doug Flutie was not able to deliver the ball on time accurately to Tim Dwight.
Doug Flutie did play parts of 3 seasons as a member of the New England Patriots. Came here as a member of the Buffalo Bills as well. 51 seconds left first half on a 2nd and 10. Flutie steps up, sidearm toss. Freddie Jones, the tight end, finally gets a catch on the board. And a 7-yard gain. Timeout. San Diego, that's their final timeout of the first half. We'll return to Foxborough in a 9-3 game after this.
サンディエゴは全部タイムアウトを使い切りましたね。
そうですね。
はい、使い切りました前半。
ですからインバウンドのパスはもう、そのスパイクするとかね。
そうです。
Log on to NFL.com, read what Vinny Testaverde, Junior Seau, Kerry Collins, and other NFL stars had to say in their own words. It's only at NFL.com or AOL keyword NFL.com.
Doug Flutie has done a really good job on this drive of mixing it up and hitting a number of players on slant plays here. Down in the red zone, 3rd down. Be careful of the quarterback draw, something he's very adept at doing at this part of the football field.
On a 3rd and 3, he sends Fletcher in motion. Spread the field. Here's Flutie. Flutie. Improvising. Flutie still has the time. Sets his feet and throws. Knocked away. To Bucky Jones. Able to get in and find the angle. He might have been able to bring that one in for the pick.
Now you might wonder, why does he have so much time to throw the football? They're only rushing 4 guys on this play, and really McGinnis is just a spy, so it's really a 3-man rush, and they're doing their best to try to contain Doug Flutie, not necessarily get the sack, but try to keep him in the pocket. Bucky Jones should have had the interception, drops it right in the end zone.
He had 10 seconds to work with after the snap of the football. 27-yard attempt. And Wade Ritchie drills it. San Diego cuts into the New England lead. It's now 9-6 Patriots. 29 seconds to play in the first half.
And Doug Flutie has only been sacked 5 times so far this season. You wonder why he has a low occurrence of sacks, and that's because teams come in game planning saying all we want to do is contain him. Actually, we want to keep him in the pocket. He's only 5'9" in stature, so teams believe that if you get a push up the middle, get your hands up, then you can, I think, disrupt his vision and force him to throw the ball from the pocket. So that's why he doesn't get get sacked much. Now, he's very mobile, and he can get out and buy extra time, as we saw in that play there. But teams are content to really just, I think, keep him in the pocket and force him to throw the football. But he's been very productive here in the state of Massachusetts, from high school, college, and pro with the New England Patriots.
You know, Doug Flutie told us during their walkthrough yesterday, San Diego came in early, flying west to east. They walked through at Dedham High School here in Massachusetts, and everybody on the Chargers was saying, well, what are we doing here? We're in a high school field, the track surrounding it. Flutie loved it. It brought back memories going in with Natick High School, winning games against Dedham, and Flutie said he was having the time of his life just reliving some of those past visuals in his head.
And even today, when I walk onto a high school football field, bring back a lot of memories. It brings back the innocence of the game at a time that was very, I think, very special for many football players.
San Diego to kick it off following the field goal. 9-6, Patriots leading it. This is from the 5-yard line. Patrick pass trying to circle toward the near side as he crossed the 20, and John Holisek with a stop. 18-yard return. Well, this was pregame. Doug Flutie, he talked about the 50 tickets that he gave out. It probably could have been 50,000, as Solomon mentioned earlier. And pregame warm-ups, Flutie making his way, and they were ready to get the autographs from one of their own. Natick, Massachusetts native Doug Flutie.
We said it, the fans are really torn when Flutie makes a play. They sort of want to applaud for him, but they realize it's a bad thing for their football team, the Patriots. But, you know, he has many fans here. He lives by, very close to the stadium, and so he makes his home here during the offseason.
24 seconds left here in the first half. Brady rifles it over the middle to Troy Brown, and now New England can start thinking about field goal position. They do have timeouts. A 23-yard hook up to the 45-yard line. They'll use one of those timeouts with 16 seconds left. First half.
さあ一応ニューイングランドとしてはフィールドゴールでいいから6点リードして終わりたいですね。
そうですよね。
9-6, Bill Belichick's team in front, looking for more with 16 seconds to play in the second quarter. First and 10 for this New England offense. Brady steps up, pocket collapsing. Brady, sideline, diving attack. He caught it. Terry Glenn. What an effort by Glenn on the near side to bring that one in Cleveland.
Glenn has been productive throughout the first half. He's making plays, and all is forgiven. Much of the turmoil and controversy that has surrounded Terry Glenn since the beginning of the season, going all the way back to training camp. I think all is forgiven when you come out and make 6 catches so far here in the first half, including a touchdown.
Line of scrimmage is the 33, and they have 11 ticks on the clock left. Adam Vinatieri having an extra point scraped away. This would be a 10-6 game. Patrick pass. San Diego wasn't expecting it up the middle, and they picked up valuable yardage. A timeout called with 6 seconds to go. They gain 6 straight up the gut. Pass with his first carry of the season, and New England has 1 timeout left. Adam Vinatieri coming onto the field to attempt a field goal. Vinatieri has converted on 9 straight field goal attempts dating back to last season. 6 seconds left, first half. Lee Johnson will hold it. Lonnie Paxton will snap it. And it'll be a 44-yard attempt for Vinatieri. We mentioned crossroads game for New England. They're 1-3, and they have 3 road games coming up in a row. Indianapolis, Denver, and Atlanta after this home game against San Diego. 44-yard attempt. Vinatieri, they kick. No good. First miss of the season for Adam Vinatieri.
That's the end of the first half.
And the Patriots have to go into the locker room with a 9-6 lead. It should have been more. As we hit halftime.
Vinatieri does hit this ball very well. This one isn't blocked. He just pulls it a little bit to the left. Nevertheless, squanders a golden opportunity for the Patriots to go in at halftime, having put more points in the board. You know, points that they're going to need here in the second half to defeat the San Diego Chargers.
End of the first half, Patriots lead it 9-6. Jim Nantz in New York. The Nextel halftime report is coming up after a word from your local station. misty day here in Foxborough. Unconventional 9-6 game. Adam Vinatieri missing on an extra point. It is halftime. We welcome you back, everybody. Ian Eagle along with Solomon Wilcox. The headline coming in clearly, the return of Doug Flutie. Headline at the end of the first half, the return of Terry Glenn.
And Terry Glenn has really not disappointed as he comes out. 2-month absence, and he comes out and has 6 receptions in the first half, including touchdown pass from Tom Brady. But he's been everything for this offense, drawing the double coverage, and I think freeing up David Patton as well as Troy Brown to make plays in the passing game, something they haven't had in their 4 previous games.
The running game has been a non-factor from both sides. Antoine Smith for New England and LaDainian Tomlinson for the San Diego Chargers. One thing about Tomlinson, he has had strong second halves so far during his young NFL career. On the kickoff, Vinatieri for Ronnie Jenkins from the 13. Jenkins finds an opening. Ronnie Jenkins to the sideline, crosses midfield. Jenkins to the 40. Tried to cut it back, dives forward to the 37-yard line. He got a block from Jason Perry and a 51-yard return for Ronnie Jenkins off the kickoff, his longest of the season.
This is exactly what San Diego needed. They've done a good job in kick return and punt return all day. They've been working with really good field position, but Jenkins does a good job of getting this ball up the field. They do an excellent job of blocking. San Diego Chargers special teams setting up the offense to go the short distance. They get the ball at the Patriots 37-yard line.
And a tough breakdown for New England on special teams. Look at the field position, the 37. Here's the pitch for Tomlinson trying to cut it back, and he got hit hard. He got sandwiched at first and then squeezed through for a gain of 2. Lawyer Malloy in on the stop.
Second down.
First half possessions, see what San Diego has done so far. Really, the offense showed a lot of rhythm in their first few games. Last week, you just started to see some chinks in the armor for Norv Turner's offensive unit against Cleveland.
That's right. I think they have to do a better job on the offensive line, but today they've done a really good job. They just have to take advantage of the opportunities the defense and special teams have given this offense.
Second and 8, deep drop from Flutie. Out to the flat, Tomlinson able to catch it and sidestepped his way forward. New England claims they have the football. Brian Cox does come away with the ball and dropped down at the 43. A 10-yard return on the fumble recovery. And New England does avoid some deep problems here as San Diego is driving.
That's what I was going to say. Once again, the defense bails out the special teams. San Diego get excellent field position, but they turn the ball over. They've only turned the ball over 5 times in their 4 previous games this year. Last year, they turned it over a league-high 50 times, and Tomlinson has to do a better job of protecting the football. And it's Roman Pfeiffer who pokes that ball out, and Brian Cox comes over to clean up. Brian's had a really good game today.
It was just sitting on the grass waiting for Cox to take over. There's a sprint out, Troy Brown. After the catch, it's Brown creating. And he picks up 20 yards.
Stopped by Tay Cody.
So after a mistake on special teams, the New England defense bails out the Patriots. And now it's the offense's turn to put some more points on the board, leading 9-6 with 13:45 to go in the third.
And the Patriots come out striking very quick, trying to get some good tempo in the offense, getting the ball in the passing game and completing passes very quickly. But they have to take advantage of this opportunity. They missed the opportunity at the end of the first half, missing the field goal. Now they've got good field position, see if they can manufacture some points.
Last year, San Diego had 50 turnovers, only 6 this season. And maybe a turnover here. Antoine Smith was able to get his hands on it. It looked ugly from the start off the pitch.
It's a good pitch from Tom Brady. Antoine Smith has to do a better job of focusing and concentrating on getting the football. I think he looked up to see where the defense was, but he has to focus on the football. See, his eyes are upfield, and that's why he loses the football. He does a good job of fighting and getting it back, but San Diego had an opportunity to recover that fumble.
Is Smith the #1 running back at this level?
I think he can be. I think we've known he's had a 1,000-yard season once before in Buffalo. He has to get back to the discipline and concentration it takes to play every down.
Split the backfield now, second and long. Brady hit as he throws and popped up in the air. Marcellus Wiley was the man who knocked it. And Mark Edwards was there to make sure it didn't go the other way.
It's a heads-up play by Mark Edwards. You don't know for sure if this ball is a forward pass or if it's a lateral. But Wiley, he's coming off the left corner right here, and he's putting pressure on Tom Brady and hits that arm before it can really get going forward. But Mark Edwards, the fullback, does a good job. Heads up football. He's a smart player. Makes a very intelligent play.
It'll be third down for New England. Ball is spotted now at the 47-yard line. So he had completed that forward motion. That was a live football, and Mark Edwards with a heads-up play. Play clock down to 1. Play action. Brady steps up, avoids the run. Throws it to the sideline. Terry Glenn with another catch. Was this one in bounds is the question.
Terry Glenn putting in extra work today, making great plays.
Incomplete.
It's an incomplete pass, but he makes an excellent effort here to try to catch this ball and get his feet down. I'm not so sure.
But wait a second. Terry Glenn's body was leaning towards the sideline, but it looked like he had both feet in bounds.
Very close. Both feet were firmly planted on the ground in bounds. I think the only question is, does he have complete possession before his hips and the rest of his body hits the ground out of bounds? I think he has the catch.
It was not a first down, so New England is not going to challenge this play. Ball bouncing around, and Tim Dwight able to handle it. Down at the 10-yard line to Bucky Jones. That football hit him on the helmet. It's been a strange start to the third quarter after a fairly pedestrian first half.
いやいや、ちょっと珍しくヘルメットにポコーンとボールがね、バウンドして当たるという光景がありましたが、まあ今のは。
I think a legitimate question is, does that dog need a ticket? I don't have that answer.
It's one of the 50 that Flutie gave out tickets to, maybe. Just maybe.
9-6. The Patriots leading the San Diego Chargers. Are they talking about re-kicking this ball? They might be. As the officials huddle up at the 15-yard line. It's like a strange bounce. Did it touch Tim Dwight first, or did it hit a Patriot player to Bucky Jones first?
Well, we know it hit to Bucky Jones. The ball hitting right in the top of the head. I think they're trying to get the sequence of events in order. You have to give credit to Doug Flutie. He was lobbying the officials for a better spot. He doesn't want to start at his own 13-yard line, so I don't know.
During the punt, illegal touching by the flyer, went out of bounds, came back in, and was the first to touch the football. 5-yard penalty, previous spot, repeat count.
Good explanation from our referee today, Terry McCall.
Yeah, Bucky Jones was the flyer. He's lined up at the top, and he went out of bounds voluntarily, which means he's ineligible. He can't touch the ball and down it up the football field, so that's why they're going to bring it back and punt it.
So keep in mind, the field position for San Diego would have been the 13-yard line. They should improve upon that a great deal. Lee Johnson is the punter. Lonnie Paxton will snap it. And the very dangerous Tim Dwight is standing at his own 20-yard line. We packed a lot in just a couple of minutes here in the third quarter.
We really have, because both teams have had opportunities. San Diego with the big kickoff return by Ronnie Jenkins, returning the ball all the way to the 37-yard line of the New England Patriots and giving them good field position. They squander that opportunity with the LaDainian Tomlinson fumble. And then the Patriots have a good opportunity, but they only go 3 and out, can't get the first down, so now they're forced to punt the ball back over to San Diego. The Chargers are looking to get even better field position, something they've done I think they've done all throughout the ball game.
Antoine Smith avoiding disaster when he fumbled the football but was able to recover it. That was a part of this drive.
And here's the problem. Look at the top right there. That's to Bucky Jones. He's known as the flyer. And they bump him, they push him. He'll step out of bounds, but he does so voluntarily. He's not knocked out of bounds. At this point, he's ineligible. He can come in and make a tackle, but he can't down the football by touching it. This is still a live ball, but once they blow the whistle dead, the ball's dead, and Bucky Jones is ineligible from downing that football.
Ball hit him in the helmet, so from the spot where it touched him, it would have been the line of scrimmage for San Diego, but because Jones had stepped out of bounds, the officials questioned it, and we are set to re-kick, we believe. They're still trying to sort it out down on the far sideline.
Well, There are some other issues they're discussing here. And maybe they're looking where to spot the ball and trying to find the original line of scrimmage where the previous punt took place. And as you can see, it's right around the 47-yard line. Right now, the ball is placed at the 42-yard
They've got
line.
it right. 5-yard penalty assessed to New England, and now we will see Lee Johnson. Spiraling punt, angling towards the sideline, and out of bounds as he creeped it inside the 30. Line of scrimmage will be the 27, so a 14-yard improvement. Let's go to New York, Jim Nantz. Of course, the only difference, Jim, Freeman was actually in training camp this year.
He's been putting in practice time, but hey, big-time players make big-time plays when the team need it most, and that's where I think both are quite the same.
Terry Glenn, a huge day so far for New England. The fog is beginning to seep in. Flutie with that sidearm toss, and Ted Johnson got his hands on it out across the middle. Incomplete.
It's an excellent play by Ted Johnson. He's a very versatile football player, can play both the middle linebacker position. Today, he's filling in for Teddy Bruschi at the outside linebacker position. He's reading the eyes of Doug Flutie, leaves his feet and make a play. This ball was intended for Jeff Graham going over the middle. Ted Johnson's not happy with himself. He's not satisfied with knocking that ball down. He wanted the interception.
See the clouds settling in just outside Foxborough Stadium. Injury update on New England. Richard Seymour, the rookie, a leg injury. His return is doubtful. Tomlinson waiting for a holding penalty. You see the flag on the play. And Roman Pfeiffer made that stop after a gain of 2. And this one's coming back. It'll be holding against San Diego right at the point of attack.
And Pfeiffer has done a good job since coming over from the Jets, where he was an outside linebacker. Now he's playing that defensive end position.
Holding, offense, number 70. Penalties decline, 3rd down.
That's the veteran Vaughn Parker. They declined the penalty after the short run by LaDainian Tomlinson. In for Seymour at the nose tackle position is Brandon Mitchell, former 2nd-round pick back in '97 out of Texas A&M. This is a 3rd and 8. Crowd again getting vocal. Here comes the rush. Flutie unloads it. Incomplete. Flags on the play. Lawyer, Malloy, and Tabucky Jones on that safety blitz.
False start, offense, number 85. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
And they come right up the middle, right up the face. You see them, they'll come right here. And then you see both of them, Tabucky Jones as well as Lawyer Malloy. He has to throw this ball much sooner than he would like to. Doug Flutie, understanding the pressure's coming, can't wait for the receiver to get open. He's forced to get rid of the football, but the offensive linemen have to maintain their poise and stay still right up front until the ball is snapped.
Penalty before the snap. So now San Diego will face a 3rd and 13. Here's Flutie, pump fake, throwing, sideline, separation, Curtis Conway, and he's dragged down from behind by Terrell Buckley. Oh, the time that Flutie had to work with, and he put it right where it had to be.
And sometimes you can try to contain a quarterback too much to the point where you're not getting the push up front, giving Doug Flutie more than enough time to complete this pass. Only 4 guys are rushing right now. Flutie, he's looking at Conway all the way. Little pump fake to the right, buys a little time, and Terrell Buckley must have bought the fake because he's nowhere near Conway. Conway has him beat by maybe 5 yards or so. Conway stays with the play. Good pump fake by Doug Flutie.
56-yard completion down to the New England 20. 1st and 10. Flutie again, throwing, finds the opening, and finds Conway on back-to-back plays inside the 2. Ty Law had the coverage, and it'll be 1st and goal as San Diego is looking to put points on the board.
And they go back to what they did so very well in the first half. This is just a quick slant route. And this ball is going to be there. The receiver's going to be open because he gets under the cornerback, Ty Law. As soon as he passes the linebacker, Flutie does a good job of timing up the route and getting the ball out very quickly and accurately.
A 3 tight end set on a 1st and goal. Handoff, Tomlinson. Tried to turn it upfield. 2nd effort. Did he get there? Yes. Touchdown, San Diego.
We talked about the power of LaDainian Tomlinson and his ability to run inside. He's hit well before he gets to the goal line, but uses nothing but second effort to get to the ball, and he hits head on with Ted Johnson, but he's able to maintain his position. Now that's his 7th rushing touchdown this season. Last year the team had 7 touchdowns, so he equals the entire team total last year.
LaDainian Tomlinson leading the NFL in that category. 7 rushing touchdowns. The team now has 8 overall. And San Diego has taken the lead. Wade Ritchie, extra point. Curve that one through. Chargers 13, Patriots 9, a 5-play, 73-yard drive. Flutie to Conway, the key one, on back-to-back pass plays.
13対9、はい、ここで4点のリードを奪ったわけです。さあこれでニューイングランドが奮起できるかどうか。
そうですよね。
LaDainian Tomlinson, 1-yard touchdown run, 7th of the season for Tomlinson. And the San Diego Chargers lead at 13-9. Kevin Falk on the return. Here's Falk running through a crowd and then brought down at the 28-yard line by Jason Perry. That's an 18-yard return. Now New England now finds himself behind. Chance to change that when we return.
コーチの立場からすると、やはりブレイディの方がね計算できるというね。
なるほど。
でコントロールミスもほとんど今日ないですよね。で投げ捨てとか、
Third quarters have been a sore point for this New England team so far in the young season. You see the numbers and they speak for themselves.
Yeah, I think the ones that stand out, look at that, 1.5 yards per rush, and then their inability to stop the run and the pass in the third quarter. Defense total collapse.
On a give for Antoine Smith, tried the shake and bake move and then forced to the sideline. Flags come down, 2 of them in fact. Ryan McNeil in on the coverage to make that tackle. A 1-yard gain.
We talk about their inability to run the ball on in the third quarter for the New England Patriots. They come out trying to get Antoine Smith going so far here in the third quarter.
Face mask penalty.
Face mask, defense, number 47, 5-yard penalty, first down.
It's Ryan McNeil. Now let's talk a little bit about the identity of this San Diego defense, and not necessarily on this play with the face mask, but overall what Joe Pascal, their defensive coordinator, has brought to this team.
Well, Joe Pascal, he's not even with the team. He's resting in the hospital in San Diego, but he has put his stamp and his personality on this defense. According to Junior Seau, it's an aggressive attacking style. We'll talk a little bit more about it as the game progresses.
On a handoff for Smith, and he takes it up the middle. Antoine Smith picks up the first down. Orlando Ruff in on the stop after the gain of 4. Pascal's in the hospital because of back surgery, and he was a part of the game plan early in the week trying to install some things, but it's been a touchy situation with Jim Vaccarella taking over, the linebackers coach.
That's right. Joe has been in the hospital studying film, breaking down plays and setting the game plan, and then Jim is making the calls on game day.
Sideline toss. Troy Brown tried to break through a tackle. He did bring McNeil with him for a couple extra yards. And Brown, with that little extra effort, turns it into a 9-yard pass play.
And I asked Junior Seau, what are the differences in terms of play calling on game day in terms of how Joe Pascal would call a game and what you get with Jim Vaccarella? He says, you know, Joe does a good job. Joe is very aggressive. He's very attacking. We're able to make more big plays defensively. He says, Jim, he's a little bit more conservative and likes to play straight up.
It's a tough situation for Vaccarella, of course, because Pascal has been so successful here, and you just don't want to mess things up.
That's right, and well loved by the defensive players on this football team.
Meanwhile, New England is moving the football. Patrick Pass setting up as a receiver and bringing that ball in for a gain of 9. They are into San Diego territory down at the 40-yard line.
We saw Junior Seau making plays in the box, coming in, blitzing, but now he's going to go to the flat, and he's just trying to get under this pass route, just one step away from getting there, and has to do a better job of recognition. But Junior Seau, he studies films, I think, as well as any player in the National Football League in terms of understanding what the offensive team wants to do against.
First and 10 from the 40. Antoine Smith stumbles forward for a gain of 2. So the running game has not been there. They haven't established that throughout the day on the ground. Rayleigh Johnson making the stop as the clock continues to move. 7:34 and counting left in the third.
Well, the Patriots have been very dominant on the pass side, throwing the ball 30 times so far in the game. Only 12 attempts to run the football, and that's because they haven't been too productive, only rushing for 42 yards so far in the ball game.
3-receiver look. Kevin Falk has set up as a receiver, making a 5-receiver look now as they spread the field entirely. On 2nd and 8, Brady short drop and a quick throw underneath. David Patton took a smack, but he didn't have enough for the first down. A gain of 9 out across the 30-yard line.
And that smack was delivered by Rodney Harrison, who came in. That's what you have to do. If they're going to run slant plays in front of you all day, you have to come up, make the tackle, but you want to make them pay, and that's what Rodney Harrison does so well. The National Football League, one of the harder hitting safeties in the league.
And that combination, Harrison and Seau, they have been the crux of this San Diego defense as they've shuffled some other players as part of the unit. 1st and 10 now. Line of scrimmage just shy of the 29. Play action for Brady. Finds Smith, middle of the field. Smith trying to remain on his feet. And then pushed down after the gain of 3. Again, it's Rodney Harrison.
It's Rodney Harrison. And Junior Seau does the dirty work. He gets hold of the legs of Antoine Smith. But Rodney Harrison comes in like a missile and cleans up. And you can see how productive these players have been over the course of their careers. Both are Pro Bowl players, and they're used to making big plays, whether it's tackles, whether it's sacks or interceptions. They are the heart and soul of this defense.
Seau told us he took Harrison under his wing during his rookie year in 1994. He saw something in this 5th-round draft pick. Mark Edwards, the ball carrier, and it's a gain of 3. Again, it's Harrison involved in the stop, combining with Rogers Beckett, the free safety. It'll be 3rd and 3.
Excuse me, more on Seau and Harrison. They actually go in and study film together. They're constantly on the same page with one another. So, you know, one is working in the box around the line of scrimmage. The other is patrolling that secondary, but they study so well together. They both see the same things at the same time, and they can react in the same manner.
Tommy Vasa has come onto the field for San Diego, recently signed from Denver. Flags down. Handoff, trying to take it up the gut. Antoine Smith, and it's enough for a first down. We'll see what the penalty marker is as Smith crossed the 20-yard line, and offsides against San Diego is the initial.
Rodney Harrison got down into the line, crossed the line before the ball was snapped.
Terry McCauley.
Offside defense for 35-yard penalty. First down.
Talked about Rodney Harrison and Junior Seau being on the same page. We've seen Junior Seau do this already and jump across the line before the ball was snapped. Now we see Rodney Harrison doing it. So, you know, they both take their cue from the same page, and they tend to guess right more times than not. But that time, Rodney Harrison jumped the gun just a little bit quick.
New England Patriots have won 9 straight over the San Diego Chargers, dating back to their last loss to the Chargers back in 1970. They trailed 13-9. Brady, he's got Edwards inside the 5. A 15-yard pass play as the Pats inch closer.
It's just an excellent pass protection for Tom Brady. That time Light does a good job keeping Rayleigh Johnson out. But we tell you, Mark Edwards is a really good pass-catching fullback. He can get out of the backfield. He's in coverage against Gerald Dixon, trying to keep Edwards from catching the ball. But Edwards gets open, and Brady gets the ball to him.
And Dixon got lost. 1st and goal from the 2. Cox again has checked in. Handoff. Edwards trying to rumble his way through. A flag down. And now Edwards pushed back as a crowd of San Diego defenders came in to make the stop.
A lot of confusion on the San Diego Chargers side of the ball. Get movement up front before the snap of the ball. They're going to draw another penalty, giving the Patriots offense a number of chances to get the ball into the end zone.
Defense, 12 men on the field, half the distance to the goal. Remains first down.
We saw Cox line up as a fullback earlier. That play he lined up as the tight end.
You know, offenses want to create some doubt in the mind of the defense, but right now the Chargers are not playing sound defense. 12 men on the field, just never any excuse when you have 12 men on the football field.
Cox in at fullback. jumbo formation. Handoff. Driven back. Second effort. Touchdown. Antoine Smith. He got hit by Sayal and kept going in the right direction.
And you asked me, is he a top back in the National Football League? And that's because at moments, he can make some tremendous plays. We know Junior Seau, he's going to bring a lick, and he's a fine tackler in his own right. But Antoine Smith does a good job of maintaining balance here, staying on his feet, and that's just a wonderful play because he was hit by two defensive players right in the hole and able to maintain balance and give a second effort to get the ball in.
You might have caught the frustration of Junior Seau following the play. He thought he had made the stop. Vinatieri puts this one through, and New England has gone back in front. A 10-play, 71-yard drive, capped off by Antoine Smith's second effort. 16-13 Pats.
いやタックルを受けてるんですよね。
いやもう結構なんか体がぐにゃっと曲がったでしょ。でも
Fans getting charged up here at Foxborough with just over 4 minutes to play in the third. After the touchdown run from Smith, kick from Vinatieri. Ronnie Jenkins flagged down, and Jenkins is brought down as he crosses the 35-yard line. Penalty markers once again. 32-yard return. Checking out Antoine Smith and taking a look at the right wrist.
During the return, holding, receiving team, number 53, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Dion Humphrey on the hold. How did Antoine Smith get to the end zone?
Well, here's what you need to look at. One, that's Junior Seau. There's two, John Holasek. Both players come in to blow up the run play, but neither wrap up, and Antoine Smith just slides right underneath Holasek and able to get the ball into the end zone. You come with the fury of a linebacker, but you have to wrap up and tackle. And that time, Antoine Smith did a good job of maintaining his balance there.
Off-play action. Lots of misdirection on this play. A dump off for Tomlinson. Great cut by Tomlinson. And he gets out across the 25-yard line and picks up 7 on the pass play. Roman Pfeiffer with the tackle.
And I see why you get excited every time he touches the ball because it was an excellent cut. They had Tomlinson hemmed in on that play, but he's able to make players miss. And I'll tell you what, he'd make one more player miss, and he's going to take that the distance.
You know, Tomlinson, in talking to him about his pass-catching ability, because nobody really knew about it, back at TCU, he said during the offseason he would line up as a receiver and run wide receiver routes against cornerbacks just to work on his hands. He said it was a hidden talent. San Diego's pretty happy that he worked on it.
Right.
Flutie throwing on a timing pattern, and it was not anywhere close to Curtis Conway. To Bucky Jones had coverage. We're going to New York right now. An NFL Today update. Jim Nantz. Jim, who would have thought early in the season a Cincinnati-Cleveland matchup actually would have had a bearing in the standings in the Central?
Battle of Ohio, baby. It was once a great rivalry, and it's nice to see it return.
On a 3rd and 3 from the 27. Dwight the motion man. Flutie flushed out. Flutie on the move and makes the connection to his tight end, Freddie Jones. It's been a bit surprising that Jones' numbers haven't been gaudy this year after breaking out with a huge season last year, and the fact that Flutie would use Remersma in Buffalo, but his numbers have been fairly modest.
Well, Doug has done a good job, I think, of spreading the ball around to a number of different receivers. 6 different players have caught passes, and now Freddie Jones gets into the mix, but he's a more than capable tight end because he has excellent speed. You see, he led the team last year with 71 receptions, but he can get deep for a tight end, but he can also catch the ball underneath, shielding off defenders.
A first down for San Diego, a 1st and 10 at the 35. Here come the Patriots on a rush. Flutie, under heat. Flutie can't get rid of it. Lawyer Malloy. He chased him down from behind for the sack.
Bill Belichick, you know, he likes to change things up. In the first half, we saw Lawyer Malloy You see him right here. He'll come creeping in, but we saw him playing much further back. Now he's playing in the box. He's blitzing, coming in untouched, and he has the speed to run down Doug Flutie, something the defensive linemen have not been able to do. This time, Lawyer Malloy comes in with excellent feel for the pass rush and tracks down Doug Flutie.
8 tackles for Malloy, his first sack of the season. And a loss of 12 on the play. A 2nd and 22. Flutie, quick throw. And complete. Doug Flutie able to find Reggie Jones, a little used wide receiver in his 4th year out of LSU. And he picks up a quick 11 yards to make back some of the yardage off the loss on the sack.
Flutie continues to spread around to a number of different receivers. It's pretty difficult for the Patriots to key in on one wide receiver because they're all pretty adept at running these slant routes, and it's timed up very well.
On a 3rd and 11. Down to a minute 40 left in the 3rd. Shotgun for Flutie. Patriots with a 3-point lead. Flutie thrown to the sideline in traffic and a flag down. Jeff Graham in a matchup with Otis Smith, and there was contact on the far sideline.
It was really good coverage by Otis Smith initially, but he doesn't find the football. He's still jousting with Jeff Graham with his hands, and that's why they throw the flag and catch him for pass interference, because he's still jousting with the receiver while the ball's in the air.
Pass interference, defense, number 45, automatic, first down.
Only the 4th New England penalty today.
And you can see the jam by Otis Smith. His back is to the quarterback. He doesn't know the ball's in the air. He's still jostling for position, but you can't touch the receiver after he clears 5 yards from the line of scrimmage, particularly when the ball's in the air.
Now 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. This drive remains alive. Tomlinson looking for the hole, and he gains 2 yards into New England territory at the 49-yard line. Johnson and Law combining to make that stop. And they have held LaDainian and Tomlinson in check.
But you have to give, I think, the Chargers offense some credit. They've done a good job on this drive of maintaining some poise. They've had some penalties. They had the sack on the quarterback, but Tomlinson, he has a way of wearing down people in the second half. So they've maintained some patience in the offense. They continue to try to get him the ball. Even after he fumbled early here in the 3rd quarter, they continue to go right back to him.
31 yards first half, 7 yards so far today in the second half. He does have a touchdown. Flutie, throwing, broken up. Jeff Graham was the target. It was knocked up in the air, and Otis Smith did have the coverage this time around.
And not only was Otis Smith, but you'll see Ty Law come into the screen, and he's breaking to try to get that slant route. He's got to get his head around and find the football. But I think San Diego may be going to the well one too many times on these slant routes. It's going to be interesting to see how the Patriots adjust and see if they can maybe pick off one of these passes, because San Diego continues to go back to the slant route. They've been completing them. At that time, Ty Law was in position to make a play.
Passing situation, Willie McGinnis just checked in. Flutie steps up in the pocket. Sideline route. And Jeff Graham could not bring it in. He got his right hand on it, and Otis Smith was there. Graham comes up a little bit gimpy.
Jeff does a good job of really, I think, giving some room over the top and keeping Otis Smith on his hip. That time, I think he may have jumped just a little too early. Doug could have gotten the ball down maybe a little bit better. But Jeff Graham made an excellent play on the ball, trying to pull it down with one hand.
Flutie thought he had that one to Graham on the touch pass. Darren Bennett will punt it. Standing at his own 37. Troy Brown is waiting. Brown, fair catch signal. And he brings it into the 10-yard line. That's where New England will have the football after the 39-yard punt. Patriots leading at 16-13, late third.
さあ、これからまたニューイングランドのオフェンスが始まりますが、3点差っていうのはもうね、サンディエゴがうまくリズムよく攻めれば。
The comfort zone of Tom Brady is increasing, and this is 3rd start in the NFL. Last week held to 86 yards passing in Miami. He's put the big numbers here today. On a handoff, Kevin Falk is in there as Falk takes it up the gut for a gain of 3. And really big picture for New England, we talked about it earlier, the third quarter woes. This has not been the case here today.
Well, they've come out and answered. San Diego took the ball down, scored a touchdown, and then the Patriots responded by going on a 71-yard drive themselves. You talked about Tom Brady was 5 for 5 on that drive, and they haven't had much in the way of the running game, so he's had to make the big plays. They do get a play from Antoine Smith down on the goal line, the second effort to get the touchdown.
That's the end of the third quarter with the score. New England 16, San Diego 13. We'll come back to Foxborough with fourth quarter action after these messages and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Start of the fourth quarter here in Foxborough. Ian Eagle, Solomon Wilcox, our entire CBS crew. They have just taped up the right wrist of Antoine Smith, but he is not on the field as we get underway in the fourth. New England leading at 16-13. Tom Brady is sacked back at the 10-yard line by Ray Lee Johnson. And a good push from this San Diego defensive line to get in the face of Brady. Well, Smith came up with a touchdown. This was just moments ago.
Look at that right wrist of his. You can see the knot on that wrist. He took a lick down on the goal line when he scored the touchdown. They come over, they're going to wrap it up, but he took a hit from Junior Seau on the touchdown run. But we'll see if they can get him back into the football game.
Kevin Falk played on that first down of this series, and now it's Patrick Pass in the backfield on a 3rd and 11. Just underway here in the fourth. New England looking for its second win of the season. Rush coming, Brady to the sideline and out of bounds. Marcellus Wiley was applying some of that pressure on Brady, and New England is forced to punt it.
There's both Wiley and Ray Lee Johnson forcing Brady to step up in the pocket, forcing him to throw the ball maybe a little sooner than he wanted, but certainly Terry Glenn had the edge on the cornerback. Ball thrown a little bit in out of bounds, but punting's not a bad thing. You want to avoid the bad plays, the turnovers and interceptions down in this part of the field and at this part of the ball game.
No, it should be good field position for the San Diego team. We know what Dwight is capable of. Johnson, high punt. Dwight backpedals to the 40. Cuts it upfield. Dwight has a lane. Tim Dwight crossing the 35, and he's finally plugged down at the 32-yard line by Roman Pfeiffer.
Tim Dwight is a weapon, and you have to think that he has eyes in the back of his head because he's surrounded by New England Patriots, and he's able to avoid every last one of them, and he makes very good decisions when he's returning punts, and just an excellent play by Tim Dwight.
26-yard return after the 49-yard punt. San Diego down by 3, but an excellent field position to work with.
小柄な分、加速力がだいぶ高いんで、はい、どんどんこうね、ディフェンダーを置いてけぼりにしますよね。
しかもね、2歩ぐらいでもトップスピードに入れるだけの。
It's been a good one here in Foxborough today. 16-13, New England leading San Diego. Fourth quarter though now, and fourth quarter in the past has meant Doug Flutie time. His team down by 3. A 1st and 10 from the New England 34. Up the middle, Tomlinson, and a flag down. Just about everybody involved defensively to make that play on Tomlinson in the box. A gain of 3. Another penalty marker, though. San Diego clapping away here. Here's Terry McCauley.
Illegal hands to the face. Defense. Number 24, 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
That's Ty Law, the veteran. AFC Central race is one of the league's best. Which team will win the division? That's our NFL.com interactive poll. You can log on and cast your vote at NFL.com.
I'm going to go out on the limb and say Baltimore.
Oh, come on. Give me something. Go with Cincinnati. Let's see it.
Baltimore is really coming back since that loss to the Bengals.
They sure are. 1st and 10 for San Diego. On the handoff, Tomlinson. Bit of a pitter-patter as he ran into the line. Ted Johnson making the stop. It's a gain of 2 on the ground. Well, let's get to New York right now. Jim Nance is standing by with an NFL Today update. Jim. See, I'll go with Cincinnati. I think Cincinnati's the pick in that division.
They had that one on cue, didn't they?
Here's Flutie. Throw. And it took a bounce. It was in the direction of Tim Dwight. He was upset. Dwight slipped down and stood up. Was hoping for a penalty flag.
Both Doug and Tim Dwight are a little bit frustrated because they know they had it. No one touches Flutie, and Flutie gets the ball there. And Dwight says, hey, I would have hauled it in had I kept my footing. But we've seen a number of players slip and fall down today. It's a little wet, had a little drizzle early this morning. Just a little water on the field, but not a lot.
Let me amend the statement. He wasn't hoping for a penalty flag. He was hoping for some traction. If he stayed on his feet, you got a big gainer. Dime package New England is showing Flutie, and Flutie takes a timeout. San Diego uses its first timeout of the second half. At even 13 minutes to play, New England leading by 3.
まあでも今の頭の撫で方なんかでも思いやりはありますよね。
まあそうですよね。
そうですね。
まああそこでね、怒りをあらわにして。
Flutie called the timeout before. They've had a chance to talk about it. Out of the shotgun. Flutie buying some extra time. Tries to get rid of it. Doug Flutie was down. Brian Cox was twirling him down. And Flutie released the football late.
And they're going to get him for intentional grounding.
And they should.
Well within the pocket. He was actually in the grass, but no receiver was to that side of the field.
That'll go down as a sack. Wait a second. Flag down.
Oh.
And it's going to work against New England.
We need an explanation on this.
Holding. Defense. Number 4, 5-yard penalty. Automatic down.
Wow. What a turn of events here. The holding on Otis Smith. Obviously that takes place before Flutie gets rid of the football.
This time he's working against Jeff Graham, and I don't know. I don't know if that was enough to pull down anyone.
Tomlinson turns it upfield. And hop, skip, and a jump forward.
It's a critical penalty, no doubt. I didn't see a blatant hold by Otis Smith on Jeff Graham. We need to take him maybe another look at it. But certainly, I don't think this warrants throwing the flag. There's a little grab inside. You can't see the left hand there. There was a little grab there. But I don't know if there was enough to disrupt Jeff Graham. He was well within the 5-yard bump rule. Certainly, they had the play there on the quarterback trying to sack Doug Flutie. Huge play for San Diego.
Second look, he may have gotten some jersey there, and that's what the officials saw. Tomlinson trying to run it inside and driven back by Cox and company. A gain of 1. It'll be 3rd and about 4. Cox combining with Riddick Parker to make that stop.
Brian Cox has been spying Doug Flutie the entire game, but now you see him working against Graham in the running game. He comes up to fill the hole and secures the tackle on LaDainian Tomlinson. Brian Cox knows this defense well. That's why Bill Belichick brings him over from the New York Jets and hoping to solidify this defense and add some leadership and experience. But with the injuries to the linebackers, Katson Moyer, Ted Johnson, and Teddy Bruschi, Brian Cox is a mainstay with this defense now.
Flutie on a give. Terrell Fletcher accelerating. He's got a first down.
Terrell Fletcher
Had to get to the 9-yard line, and Fletcher extended the arms well past it.
It's a good call by Norv Turner. Normally Terrell Fletcher works in the passing game, but every now and then you have to mix up the defense. Romeo Crennel trying to get his defense going and says, hey guys, we have to shore this up and not give up a touchdown here, force a field goal. Good play calling, both. You can see the strategy working. Norv Turner, offensive coordinator for San Diego. Romeo Crennel, defensive coordinator for the Patriots.
First and goal from the 6. Flutie on a handoff. Tomlinson forced forward for a gain of 3. Roman Pfeiffer with the tackle.
Pfeiffer and Bobby Hamilton do a good job of closing the hole. I thought Tomlinson was going to walk into the end zone for a minute, and Hamilton comes in from the inside. You can see they're going to just constrict that hole right in there. Look at that. Good play by Roman Pfeiffer, getting off the block and shutting it down.
Second and goal now. The ball spotted just inside the 4. San Diego looking to regain the lead on a double tight end set. Hyden in motion. Play action. Flutie throws it to the end zone. Caught by Hyden. Touchdown, Chargers.
Lawyer Malloy is not happy. Felt like he was held on the play by the tight end, Freddie Jones. We can get a look at it. He was certainly coming in he was blitzing off the left side. Lawyer Malloy is not happy.
First touchdown of the season for Hyden.
And watch right here. You'll see that's Freddie Jones. Look, he just tackles him, throws him to the ground, allows time for Doug Flutie to make the completion.
San Diego goes out in front. Extra point. It's muffed. Darren Bennett. How about this? Second extra point today that was not converted. One from New England, one from San Diego. How big is that? It's still a 3-point game. Extra point would have given San Diego the 4-point lead. Instead, 19-16 Chargers.
サンディエゴがリードを奪いました。まあそうでしょうね。まあなかなかああいうところからはね、
はい、2ポイントやって
なかなかやらないでしょうね。
決まって21点ですよね。
Coming from behind has been a part of Doug Flutie's MO for a very long time. And San Diego has now come from behind to take the lead, 19-16, but the extra point was not converted. Kevin Falk runs into a brick wall at the 24-yard line in the person of Zeke Moreno, a 21-yard return. Now, we spoke with Tom Brady, asked him, where were you when Doug Flutie threw the Hail Mary for Boston College? He said, well, I was 7.
He didn't even remember when we brought it up. At that time, he was Little League catcher in San Mateo. He said, I was just trying to play baseball at the time.
You know what, though? He said, I've seen it on Classic Sports.
He sure did. But that's about all he knew about it. Now he finds himself in a position to lead his team back against the master of comeback, Doug Flutie.
And that's what the Patriots need. Brady on the quick toss to Troy Brown. Look at Brown reversing field. Brown trying to go to the other side, and San Diego would have none of it. Rodney Harrison chased him down, and he was held for no gain. Rogers Beckett also involved. Just about everybody in San Diego was able to sniff it out once Brown made his move.
And Junior Seau said that you know what? He said, whenever a play goes away from me, I can trust that Rodney Harrison will be over on the other side to make a play. See Seau come up right there. He missed the tackle. Seau still gets back up on his feet, but Rodney Harrison stays with it and is able to trip up Troy Brown on the play. Had he got outside, it looked like he was going to run a long way.
2nd and 10. Again, that 5-receiver look from New England on the offensive side. Brady doesn't know the rush is coming. Unloads it deep, and he had Patton open. Patton had 2 steps on Alex Molden at least. And the pass had a little too much on it.
Patton was open. He was going outside, but the ball's thrown back over the inside shoulder by Brady. Brady has to, at times he's been a little inactive. For the most part, he's thrown the ball well today, but that time he could have led Patton outside where he had the edge on Alex Molden.
Brady, 20 of 34, 234 yards, 1 touchdown. On that pass to Terry Glenn. 3rd and 10 now. The clock is stopped with 9:03 to go on the 4th. Brown in motion towards the slot. Brady steps up, unloads it. Sideline throw. Incomplete. Glenn, the intended receiver. And New England is forced to punt. Glenn was matched up with Molden.
Yeah, that time I think he was trusting that, Terry Glenn could run down that pass. He put some air under it. Glenn, he hasn't caught a ball here in the second half. He caught 6 balls in the first half, none here in the second, and maybe the wear and tear of the ball game is beginning to wane on him a little bit after a 2-month layoff. Normally he's able to close in on a pass like that, but that time could not kick it into a second gear.
Tim Dwight set up San Diego nicely with great field position. Take a look at this. Leach Johnson losing the football. He couldn't get rid of it. Picked up and run into the end zone. Touchdown for Derek Harris. How strange does it get? Johnson had his problems earlier in the day. He saw the rush from Harris and could not get rid of the football.
And earlier we talked about the Patriots' 3rd quarter collapse. They've just fallen apart here in the 4th quarter, particularly with this play. Very strange to get the pressure on Lee Johnson, but Lee has to secure the ball. You can't hold the ball out and allow that ball to become a fumble. He didn't secure it, and have to give Derek Harris the credit because he pursued the punter and stripped the ball and then scored a touchdown.
A backup fullback, Derek Harris, former St. Louis Rams, signed as a free agent. Wade Ritchie with the extra point. And this crowd just looking at one another right now, saying, what happened?
It's a strange play. There you see Harris comes in. And Lee Johnson bobbles the snap, and he never secures the football. He picks it up and doesn't secure it. And Harris is able to get the ball out on the tackle, and he has the presence of mind. And you can see, look, he just held up, didn't kick it, but now you have to put the ball away. Derek Smith has the presence of mind to not only pounce on the football, but he gets up and runs it in for a touchdown.
So Derek Harris scores the touchdown for San Diego, and just like that, it's 26-16. Bill Belichick's team had played well throughout the day, but minor miscues here and there turn into major mistakes.
And the crowd here at Foxborough Stadium is just stunned. They don't know what to believe. 1 minute ago, they have the lead, and now they've seen it squandered. Seen San Diego jump out to a 10-point lead.
They figured if there would be some magic here for the Chargers, it would come solely from Doug Flutie. Not on special teams. The combination of Tim Dwight and then Derek Harris firing through to cause the fumble, scoop the football up, and take it in for pay dirt. A lot of these Patriots fans are going home.
Let's not forget Ronnie Jenkins on the kickoff return. He's helped the Chargers get great field position all day long.
Kevin Falk tackled down at the 25-yard line by Steve Hayden. And oh, how things have changed here in the fourth quarter in Foxborough. You can follow all the games on NFL.com, and after the games, get in-depth analysis and recaps from the experts only at NFL.com or AOL keyword NFL.com. Line of scrimmage will be the 26. So instead of punting and putting your defense on the field, trying to hold San Diego with a 3-point lead, all of a sudden your offense reappears down by 10. Clock is moving with 8:38 left. Antoine Smith has returned as he takes it up the middle and carries to the 35-yard line for a gain of 9. Take one more look.
Now let's see what Lee Johnson does. He has the football, but he looks up, he sees the presence of Derek Harris, but hold the football. You have to secure it with two hands and put it away, and Lee Johnson just holds the ball out, and when he's thrown to the ground, that ball comes out. It's live the whole time.
Antoine Smith slices through for a first down at the 40-yard line. Give Harris credit. When he began hugging Johnson, he got hold of that right hand.
That's right, and was able to get the ball out. Not only did he force the fumble, he had the presence of mind to pounce on it. And then after he got the ball, he had enough presence of mind to get up with the ball and run it in. Lee Johnson is stunned now, but he has to protect the football first, and then once the ball is out, try to recover it and then make the tackle.
Brady sets it up. Antoine Smith moves to the 45-yard line for a gain of 5. Lee Johnson in his 17th year in the NFL. He's been a member of the Patriots since 1999.
This game is not out of reach. This is where Tom Brady has to do a little Flutie act of his own and try to get his team back into the ballgame. He's thrown the ball well today. He's going to have to start getting the ball back to Terry Glenn, try to manufacture some yards, and now they go to Antoine Smith.
Smith inching closer to midfield as he picks up 4. He needs to get to the 50 for the first down. Marcellus Wiley with the tackle. And some words being exchanged as Seau begins barking across at the Patriots offense. And this crowd has been completely taken out of it.
They have been, and that's why the Patriots are going to have to find a way to make a play on offense. They've moved the ball pretty well against a very tough San Diego Chargers defense. They're going to have to, I think, keep their poise. There's plenty of time left in this ball game for them to get back in it.
3rd and 1 for New England. Have to get to the 50. And Smith isn't even close. Gerald Dixon wrapped him up. Now Harrison exchanging words with Greg Robinson Randall. Now with 6:29 to go in this game, what do you do here, Solomon? You go for it, knowing full well you still need 2 scores?
I think you have to go for it. 4th and 1, I think, is a makeable down in distance. You have to give yourself a chance. But, they've been going to strictly the running game here, running the ball on the last 2 plays.
Call it 4th and 2. Smith, he's got the first down across midfield. And down at the San Diego 48. He picked up 5. He needed 2. And this drive continues.
Here they just run right off the left side behind Matt Light. He kicks out on Ray Lee Johnson. Antoine Smith hits it up in there right off tackle on the left side and is able to pick up the first down. He comes out. He's banged up a little bit. He's carried the ball 3 consecutive times and went on the sideline for a break.
Kevin Falk is checked in. Brady wants to throw it. Brady, sideline route. And brought in by Terry Glenn on the far side. Another first down for New England. Out of bounds, out around the 35-yard line. Let's see where they spot it. 13-yard gain. They'll put it on the 34.
And that's the kind of play they need from Tom Brady, going to his favorite target so far today in Terry Glenn. They've been working the sidelines very well, timing up those routes, and Terry Glenn makes his first reception of the second half.
There is no Drew Bledsoe to come in and save the day. It's all on the right arm of Tom Brady. Outside for Troy Brown. Covered by Tay Cody. And Brown with a good gainer on first down. It's 9 yards.
And Brady's showing some good poise. He was pressured that time by Ray Lee Johnson. Stood in the pocket right that time with pressure coming right down his backside, but he stood in and threw the ball after him.
They faked the spike. Brady now throws it away.
How's that for poise of a young quarterback?
By the way, Terry Glenn has gone over 100 yards. 7 catches, 110 yards, and the touchdown. Brady just took a hit from Ray Lee Johnson in the pocket.
He also took a shot at trying to make something happen against this Chargers defense. That's, I think, really thinking ahead. He's coming up to the center, and he's showing everybody that he's ready to down the ball. He snap it. He acts like he's going to go down, but he comes up throwing, looking for Terry Glenn.
Now a 3rd and 1, and even 5 minutes to go here in the 4th. New England down by 10. Set it up. Kevin Falk. Shaking big move. It's Falk. Gets across the 15. 12-yard pass play. Brady to Falk. Clock is moving with 4:45 left to go.
They've done a good job of mixing in some pass plays to the receiver. Now they bring Kevin Falk in the out back. He's just a flare route for Falk. He makes the catches, able to elude the first tackler and create some positive situations, getting the ball inside the 15-yard line.
Line of scrimmage just shy of the 13. Brady in the pocket. Brady guns it into traffic and twirl down Troy Brown. That's good for 10 yards.
Junior Seau told us the difference between Joe Pascal, the defensive coordinator who's not with him today. Now today, Jim Vecchiarella, he's making the calls. A little bit conservative, I think, of this defense. They're kind of laying back and allowing the Patriots to catch the ball in front of them. They're not going after the quarterback, no blitzing, and they're showing their hand, playing straight up. And I think they have to do a much better job of trying to confuse a young quarterback like Tom Brady. You have to give him different looks, and I think you have to apply some pressure.
Off the measurement, this will be a 1st and goal from the 3. And the door is still open for New England to make a game of this. Trailing 26-16. Plenty of time left. 4:09 to go. 1st and goal. Handoff. Antoine Smith. Pushed backwards. And a loss of 3 on the play. John Perella, first man to greet him.
Perella just blows this play up, gets excellent penetration, forcing Antoine Smith to try to bounce outside, but the penetration was so great by John Perella. He made the tackle in the backfield. Excellent play. That's what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to pin their ears back and get penetration up the field, play more aggressive on defense, something they haven't done on this possession.
Brady, timing pass, up in the air, and broken up. A chance for David Patton in a matchup with Alex Molden. And fans wanted the flag.
It's just good coverage by Molden. They had Rodney Harrison comes over also to try to make the play, but that's just good hands. They both had positions. I think they both had hands on one another, but you could see he's playing the ball and gets his hand on the football just as Patton is preparing to make the catch.
Clock is stopped with 3:38 left in the 4th. Solomon, they need the 7 here. They're down by 10. Of course, you could say settle for the field goal, get the 7 later. If you're this close, you want the 7 here.
You have to go for 7. No doubt.
A 5 receiver look. They aren't going for it. Play clock was down to 1. Brady steps up, fires, incomplete. Troy Brown, the intended receiver. And now they face a 4th down.
They're going to go for a field goal here. You do need 2 scores. Showing a lot of confidence in Adam Vinatieri. Hopefully he's already missed 1 field goal here today.
So they inch it inside the 5. They had a few cracks at it. And now they have to settle for the 3 points, a 23-yarder, and ask their defense to stop Flutie and the Chargers, or maybe stop Tomlinson, depending upon how San Diego plays it. 23-yard attempt. And Vinatieri splits the uprights. This is a 7-point game. San Diego 26, Patriots 19 with 3:31 left.
そして残る時間が3分30秒。ここで今度はどういうキックオフをして、そして
26-19, the Chargers leading the Patriots with 3:31 to go in the 4th. Now San Diego has to be aware here as New England might think about surprising them. Now the Chargers back off. And Vinatieri kicks it through. Ronnie Jenkins from the 3. Jenkins cutting it to the outside. Jenkins turning it upfield and forced out of bounds at the 31-yard line. 27-yard return for Jenkins. Well, it's been a 9-game winning streak for the New England Patriots over the San Diego Chargers. Have to get back to 1970. Joe Kapp, John Hadle, the 2 QBs. They played it at Harvard Stadium. Final score, San Diego 16 and the Patriots 14. Bring back some of those newsreel footage.
Was that Bambi? Lance Allworth, one of my all-time favorites.
1970, 31 years ago. That's the last time San Diego got a road win against New England. They've lost 9 straight in the series. Flutie on a handoff. Tomlinson turning the corner. And goes down shy of the 40-yard line. 8-yard gain. Fred McCrary gave him a block up front to work with.
Yeah, Fred McCrary was working against Roman Pfeiffer. Credit LaDainian Tomlinson with the vision to bounce it outside. That's what he does really well. He can press the hole, and then he understands when he has control of the edge, and he takes it outside for positive yards.
New England still has all 3 of its timeouts remaining. San Diego with 2 left. The Chargers just using as much clock as possible now. Leading it by 7, facing a 2nd and 2. They have been held in the running game. Came in one of the best in the NFL in that department. Today, New England has done the job in that category. And off Tomlinson, diving forward to the 40 for a gain of 1. But it's still short of a first down. Ted Johnson involved in the stop along with Bobby Hamilton.
You talked about how the Patriots have done a good job of shutting down the Chargers running game so far today, but this is where it's vitally important. You cannot allow the Chargers to manufacture yards on the ground right now and eat up the clock and continue to pick up first downs.
Timeout taken. New England using its first timeout here in the second half. They still have 2 left. Well, Saturday, Home Depot SEC football. The Tennessee Volunteers travel to Tuscaloosa to meet playmaker Freddie Millins and the Alabama Crimson Tide. The excitement begins with Tim Brando and Spencer Tillman on college football today. More college football news. You can check them out at cbs.sportsline.com. AOL keyword CBS Sportsline. Now the New England defense is now put under the spotlight. You see Brady and Bledsoe. It's a good relationship that's developed. In fact, Brady told us, hey, sometimes the coaches, they'll say one thing and I recognize what their job is, but I can go to Drew and ask him questions. He can tell me from a QB's perspective.
Well, he's done a good job, I think, leaning from an experienced veteran like Drew Bledsoe, knowing what the incumbent quarterback would do in that situation. Drew has been successful, 3,000 yards in his last 7 seasons. So, Tom Brady has a very good mentor in Drew Bledsoe.
They come up short of the first down, so they do face a 3rd and about a foot. Patriots defense put on the spot.
That's right. This is money time for the Patriots defense because it's 3rd and 1. You stop them here, Chargers are going to have to give up the football and punt it. So this is money time for this defense. Let's see if they can respond and come through in the club.
A pivotal play in the waning moments of this ball game. It's been a good one here in Foxborough. 3rd and 1. Flutie on a handoff. Tomlinson. He didn't get there. No gain on the play. New England gets a huge effort from Brian Cox up the middle.
2nd
And another timeout used by the Pats.
And they do a good job of getting a push up front on the offensive line. Let's see. They're getting some movement, but Ted Johnson and Brian Cox, they come in and fill the hole. And they know that this ball is going to be ran right behind the fullback, Fred McCrary, who comes over in the motion. But you know you have to run the ball with a lead blocker. They know what side the ball is going to come to just by where the fullback is.
Flutie upset, and rightfully so. This team had a 2nd and 2 to keep the drive going. Then a 3rd and 1, and they come up short on both attempts.
The Chargers haven't done a really good job, I think, of getting the push up front on the offensive line. Something they've really had a tough time doing all day, forcing Tomlinson to bounce it outside. That's where he's had most of his rushing yards here today.
So Darren Bennett has had his problems the last couple of weeks. A dependable kicker, a Pro Bowl punter. And Troy Brown standing at his own 15-yard line. High punt, sailing. Brown forced to backpedal from the 10. Does he have room to work with? He does. Brown out across the 40. Getting to the outside. And spun down at midfield, but a flag on the play. 40-yard return after the 50-yard punt. Penalty marker is down at the San Diego 47.
Certainly the play that a young quarterback like Tom Brady would need from his special teams to get good field position, but this is going to go against the Patriots. It's coming back.
Patriots look to be lined up nicely to make a move here and rally in the late stages. Not the case.
During return, holding, receiving team, number 22, 10-yard penalty from the end of the run, first down.
Terrence Shaw, the former Charger.
Yeah, Shaw gets nailed on the penalty. Something he's got to do a better job. You have to be smart. He's a 7-year veteran, so you can't get called and hurt your football team. You're going to get the ball at the 50-yard line and give Tom Brady in this offense in short field to try to get a touchdown and tie up this football game.
Flag was thrown on the other side of the field as well. That play was working towards the left. And Bill Belichick's team will have it from the 40. It came during the run back. So it does only cost them 10 yards. They're not repunting this ball, which is a huge difference. Still excellent field position with 2:10 remaining in the fourth. 26-19. San Diego with the lead. The young Tom Brady trying to lead this team back. Here's Brown. And he gets caught after the gain of 3. That's going to roll it down to the 2-minute warning. Rodgers Beckett making the stop on the far side. New England down a touchdown with 2 minutes to play at home. Iron Eagle, Solomon Wilcox, with you from Foxborough, Massachusetts. 26-19. San Diego leading New England. 2 minutes to play in the fourth. Bill Belichick's club at 1-3. Mike Riley's team at 3-1. Such a pivotal game for this New England club. You've seen what San Diego did in the past, blowing fourth quarter leads. They blew one last week in Cleveland. Here's Brady. He's got the first down. Brady connecting to Troy Brown, who has become a target for Tom Brady in his short stint in the NFL. 12 yards, and Brown has 9 catches for 98 yards.
Once again, the Chargers defense come out with a lack of intensity, not playing real aggressive. I think they're playing a little bit soft, allowing Brady to have time to complete passes. They have to blitz him and I think do a little bit more to confuse and put pressure on.
Brady again has time to throw. This ball is knocked down. Leonardo Carson, his second year out of Auburn, filling in for the injured Jamal Williams. And Carson gets a piece of that to stop the clock with 1:27 left. And a 2nd and 10 upcoming for this New England offense.
Brady also had time to throw the ball on that play. Of course, it was knocked down by Carson. But San Diego is going to have to put pressure on Brady. You have to come after him. He's a young quarterback. You don't want to treat him like he's an experienced quarterback as if it was Drew Bledsoe back there.
2nd and 10. Shotgun from the 45. Brady steps up and fires. And Brown could not bring it in. It'll be 3rd and 10. Patriots are 1-3 this year, with Indianapolis, Denver, and Atlanta all coming up on the road after this game.
And you can see Brady does have time to throw the ball. 3-man rush by the Chargers. Puts Terry Glenn right in the hands. Tom Brady, almost 300 yards passing today. They came in only averaging 163 yards per game, ranked 27th in the league in their passing game.
Well, he's got a couple of downs here to get a first down and move the chains. On a 3rd and 10, Brady steps up, still has the time. Great touch on the ball to Brown. And a first down for New England inside the 30. 16-yard hookup. Clock is moving. Down to 1:04 left. 1st and 10 from the 29. New England still has one timeout left. Under a minute to go. Brady steps up, avoiding the rush. Brady stops and throws on the run. Incomplete. Terry Glenn on a sideline throw.
And every down is just a 3- or 4-man rush. The linemen are starting to wear down a little bit, getting a little tired, and can't sustain a pass rush on Brady. He's very comfortable standing in the pocket, buying time, trying to wait for his receivers to get open.
San Diego just looking to hold on. And the Chargers have a player down. We can't make out that number from this angle. 26-19. San Diego leading New England with an even 50 seconds left. And play has been stopped because of an injury.
And I think whenever you're playing a young quarterback, you have to do a really good job of mixing up your pass rushing. And I think you also have to do a good job of mixing up the coverages behind the pass rush, giving him some zone looks and sometimes some man look. And right now, I think they're playing very basic and straight up against Brady right now in the 4th quarter.
Looks like Alex Molden on his back. 6th-year pro, the former Saint out of Oregon. He was a spot starter last year with New Orleans. He played well, a free agent, and signed on as one of the 2 new corners with the San Diego Chargers, replacing Deron Jenkins and Darrell Lewis, along with Ryan McNeil. He got spilled out in coverage, and you couldn't pick up anything off that replay that stood out.
Really difficult. He fell on top of the knee of Terry Glenn. Maybe caught a knee in the ribs. Really difficult to tell where he sustained the injury.
So Davis Sanchez, first-year player out of Oregon as well, would step in for Molden. And he's able to walk it off with a bit of a limp as he goes to the sideline. It'll be 2nd and 10 for New England. From the 29. The difference in this game right now, Lee Johnson was unable to get a punt off, and Derek Harris, a backup fullback, forced the fumble and then took it in for the score. That's your 7-point differential. 26-19. Brady steps up. Brady looks. Brady fires. Incomplete. Inside David Patton trying to take it. And he's brought down at the 4. 26-yard pass play. New England uses its final timeout.
When we met with Tom Brady, he came into the room, he said, this is a very confident young man, only 2nd year in the National Football League. But look at the time, only a 3-man rush. You allow him to grow in confidence as the game goes on, and now you're in crucial moments of the game, and he's at his best in terms of that confidence as he comes in. And this is just a bullet, a strike to David Patton, who makes an excellent grab, able to pick up some additional yards after the catch. But again, it all starts with the lack of a pass rush. You're asking your secondary to make plays, but you're giving the quarterback all day to throw the ball. It's like 7-on-7 for a quarterback.
Patriots have used their final timeout. Don't forget about some of the other quirks. Missed extra point from New England. Missed extra point from San Diego. 26-19. Chargers leading the Pats. 40 seconds to go here in the 4th from Foxborough. A 1st and goal from the 4. Smith in the backfield with Edwards. Hooplet. Brady throwing. Wide open. Touchdown. Jermaine Wiggins. And the Patriots are an extra point away from tying this thing up late in the 4th.
Just an excellent play call by the offensive coordinator, Charlie Weiss. Little smoke and mirrors here. Everyone's got their eyes on the crossing receiver, Terry Glenn, and it's just a wonderful play. Jermaine Wiggins able to get open in the back of the end zone. Tom Brady showed poise throughout the drive there, completing passes to receivers, but he had the time to throw the ball, and that's key.
Captain comeback has been known as a term used for Doug Flutie. Vinatieri adds the extra point, but it is Tom Brady that has rallied this New England team in the fourth quarter. We're tied at 26 with 36 seconds left.
When we talk about smoke and mirrors, you see Terry Glenn coming across the frame. Look at Rodney Harrison. Everyone bites up on it. Jermaine Wiggins is able to get behind the defense and able to get open. Just an excellent play. It's wonderful. Roger Beckett can't get back in time. Look at the coaches. You see there. They know it's going to come open. They're wondering if the young quarterback will have the boys to complete the pass. Tom Brady over 300 yards passing in the game.
An important point just to bring out here. San Diego had 2 timeouts remaining, but because of the injury to Molden, they lost one of those timeouts. So Doug Flutie has 1 timeout left to work with 36 seconds to go in the fourth. 26-26. Doug Flutie itching to get out of the field. This is from earlier. Vinatieri, extra point. He missed it. But then it was San Diego that gave that point back. Tit for tat. When they were unable to complete on the conversion.
Special teams very important when you can't get your extra points and when you miss field goals and when you don't secure the punt and hold on to the football. You allow teams to make plays. You find yourself in a situation at the end of the game, 26 seconds left, and you're all tied up. And it's when it dawns on you that every little thing counts in a football game.
Second touchdown of the season for Wiggins. Flutie waiting. He will get his chance. Kickoff by Vinatieri. Jenkins is standing at his own 2 for the return. Jenkins has hurt the New England team, but not on this play. He ran directly into Bucky Jones. He got stonewalled.
Yeah, Bucky Jones is coming in. He's just trying to get off a block, and he just beelines for the ball carrier. It's just an excellent play by Bucky Jones, beating the block. It's just a really good job. Leonardo Carson's trying to block to Bucky Jones. He defeats the block, comes off, squares up on Ronnie Jenkins. Ronnie Jenkins never saw it coming. He's thinking Carson's going to hold the block, but he's unable to.
23-yard line. That's where San Diego starts out with 31 seconds left for Doug Flutie. Native Massachusetts native. 12-1 as a starter in this stadium going back to his Boston College days. On a handoff, Tomlinson bursting through the hole out across the 35-yard line. We mentioned San Diego only has the 1 timeout left. They use it. A 14-yard gain. And the clock is stopped with 23 seconds remaining. Don't forget, coming up next, Game 2 of the doubleheader here on CBS. Denver visits Seattle, or Miami taking on the Jets at the Meadowlands. That's coming up immediately following our coverage of the Patriots and the Chargers.
We asked if Tom Brady could match the magic of Doug Flutie and lead his team back, and he answers, and now it's up to the maestro. Doug Flutie's been here before, and this is what his team expects from him. They need the leadership on offense. He's provided so far this season. Right now, he has an opportunity to save the San Diego Chargers.
They have to get to about the 35-yard line to give Richie even a chance to win it with a field goal. Flutie. No timeouts left, keep in mind. Flutie scrambling, throwing, incomplete. What a pass to Curtis Conway, and the clock is moving. Down to 12 seconds left. Clock continues to roll as Flutie has to spike it quickly. Down to 4 seconds left. Flutie takes his time and spikes the football. 1 second remaining on the game clock. And Doug Flutie was able to stop it, but they could not get extra yardage for their kicker.
This is where they're going to miss the timeout used on the injury by Alex Molden. And when the Patriots last had the ball, They wasted the timeout. Now they don't get another shot. That ball was caught by Curtis Conway, who did slide out of bounds, but they ruled him inbounds and down. And apparently the defender must have touched him while he was still inbounds.
This is going to be a 57-yard attempt for the win. Kicking into the wind, Wade Ritchie. His career long is 52. Play is going to be reviewed. Was the catch clean? I guess is the first thought.
Or was he touched before he slid out of bounds?
This is not a coach's challenge. Keep in mind in the final 2 minutes, this is reviewed upstairs when they feel there's a play that's up in the air. Could be reviewed for clock purposes as well. That's another possibility. Just 1 tick of the clock left. Doug Flutie was trying to get the Chargers to the line of scrimmage so he could spike it and maybe get one more play off and get some extra yardage for Ritchie to work with. That's where the leadership of Flutie does pay off. But the clock was moving and the Chargers couldn't get there.
Now let's take a look to see if he was able to spike this ball. That ball came out of his hand while his hand was going backwards, and they may be ruling to see if this was a forward pass.
You're absolutely right.
Before the ball, before his hand was going forward. This may be ruled a fumble in the Patriots' ball with 1 second left on the clock.
I think you're absolutely right. He did not have possession. He lost the football as he was trying to throw it down. Brian Cox just jumped on it. They're going to review whether or not Wade Ritchie is even going to have a crack at this 57-yard field goal.
And if the official is seeing what I'm seeing, there's enough evidence right there to overturn it and award the ball to belong to the New England Patriots.
You've got to throw it directly into the ground to stop the clock. He lost the football.
He lost it.
That's a fumble.
It's a fumble. Heads up play by Brian Cox.
1 second left. The officials talking this one over, trying to determine A, who has the ball and how much time remaining.
After review, the quarterback lost the ball before he spiked it. However, because of the whistle, the ball will be placed at the 41-yard line. Second down, the clock is correct.
Wait a second. The whistle. Because of the whistle. Wow. This is being ruled a spike.
Now, what do you think the fans are going to say? If this kick is made by the Chargers, they're going to go back to that play, and I'm telling you, it's not going to be a happy time, but the inadvertent whistle.
They moved it back 5 yards, turning this, or 2 yards, turning it into a 59-yard attempt for the win. Bennett the holder, David Bin will snap. Wade Ritchie leans into it. The kick is on the way. And short. We are going to overtime with the Pats and Chargers tied at 26. We have seen some strange things in this game this afternoon.
It's a straight kick.
He had the location.
Just not enough leg.
Ritchie thought he had it after it came off his foot. Not quite enough on it to end this game right here. Instead, we go to an extra session. San Diego Chargers, they have traveled a long way to the East Coast for this game after traveling to Cleveland last week. The New England Patriots in a desperate situation at 1-3 and 3 straight road games upcoming on the schedule.
Call it. 55's calling it. We're okay. What's your call? His call is tails. It is tails. San Diego won the toss.
So San Diego has won the toss. They'll receive it to open play at the end of regulation. Overtime is next in Foxborough. Chargers and Patriots tied at 26. We'll come back in a moment. 26. Overtime here in New England. Chargers will get the football first. Vinatieri will kick it off to Ronnie Jenkins. And you think back when San Diego had the football, a 3rd and 1, and a chance to keep the drive going, keep the New England offense off the field. They couldn't get the yard.
Couldn't get the push from the offensive line and was forced to punt. Tom Brady took over from there and led his team to a touchdown to tie up this football game.
Vinatieri on the kick. Jenkins from the 1. Jenkins looking for the angle. Jenkins squeezing through a hole and brought down at the 40-yard line. 39-yard return, and special teams continues to be a problem for this New England club. Otis Smith making the tackle.
Ronnie Jenkins continues to do a good job on kickoff return for the San Diego Chargers. Has good vision leading up behind Terrell Fletcher, getting a good block and really good field position, something the Chargers have enjoyed all day long, taking the ball over at their own 40-yard line.
One of the reasons they went out and signed Wade Ritchie is because he had a bigger leg than the veteran John Carney. They're trying to get Ritchie into a position where he can give this team a win in overtime. Flutie floats it over the head of McCrary, incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10. Timeout situation, each team given 2 as we start play in the extra session. Wade Ritchie had a chance from 59 yards away at the end of regulation to win it, and came up short.
He didn't need much more to get it through, showing signs of a strong leg. He may get another opportunity here in overtime.
Chargers have been a feel-good story in the NFL after going 1-15 last year. Chance to go 4-1 with a victory here today. Flutie, quick drop, quick throw. Underneath Terrell Fletcher. And he is met quickly by Malloy, a gain of 5.
Malloy does a good job of closing in on Terrell Fletcher. He's taking the back out in space, man-to-man coverage. Fletcher makes the catch, does a good job of holding on to the football, but after getting hit very hard by Lawyer Malloy.
Now a 3rd and 5 for Flutie and the Chargers. Crowd making noise. First minute of play in overtime. Out of the shotgun, Flutie. Throwing. Diving attack. Tim Dwight. Incomplete. Chargers will punt.
This is where the top players have to make big plays. Flutie looking for Tim Dwight, but you could see the defender forcing Flutie to get the ball high and up in the air. Misfires here. This ball could be thrown a little bit better by Flutie, but he had a defender in his face, and so you have to give the Patriots credit. Made played on defense, forced the 3 and out. Now they'll get the ball, get a chance to win the football game.
Bennett off the punt, wobbly punt. Takes a bounce. San Diego is ready, and they touch it up at the 22-yard line. 32-yard punt for Darren Bennett. And now Tom Brady will get his chance. Doug Flutie had an opportunity getting the football first here in the extra session.
Brady over in conference with Drew Bledsoe. He's already thrown 51 passes on the day, completing 30, already over 300 yards on the day. But I think the key thing there, you see, no interceptions. He hasn't thrown any interceptions since filling in for Drew Bledsoe. Very young quarterback, really keeping his poise and his wits about him, not hurting his football team.
He has been savvy here today, filling in for Drew Bledsoe. Brady at Michigan sat behind Brian Greasy during the national championship year for the Wolverines. 1st and 10, line of scrimmage, the 23. Checking off the line is Brady. Play clock is down to 3. Here comes the rush. Brady steps up, throws it low. Deep ball, down the sideline. Incomplete. David Patton and a flag down. Alex Molden with the coverage. Flag thrown at the 39-yard line.
Boy, what poise by the young quarterback Tom Brady. We already talked about in the 4th quarter how we thought this San Diego Chargers defense was playing a little bit conservative, and now in overtime they decide to blitz the young quarterback, has one-on-one coverage outside with David Patton. Alex Molden has to find the football, get back inside. Give Patton credit for coming back inside, working his way back to the ball. And that's where contact is made because the receiver comes back to the ball. Molden could not find it in the air. He gets contact before the ball arrives.
A 37-yard penalty. gives New England a first down at the San Diego 40-yard line. Out of the shotgun, Brady steps up, guns it. Underneath the coverage to Patton. And the catch made at the 32-yard line. Good for 8 yards. Getting extra yardage for Adam Vinatieri. We are in overtime, tied at 26, San Diego and New England. Patriots rally in the fourth to force the OT. And a handoff, and surrounded. Antoine Smith brought down at the 35. It's a loss of 3.
You have to wonder if the Patriots are playing for the field goal, taking the ball out of the hands of Tom Brady, who's been so hot. He ran the blitz. That time San Diego was coming right up the middle, and that's where the Patriots call the run play. Goes for nothing, so you have to wonder if they're just playing for the field goal at this point.
No, but Solomon, right now would be a 53-yard attempt. No gimme by any stretch.
No doubt. They have to continue to make plays. You have to wonder what they were thinking with the play called on that particular play, giving it to Antoine Smith right up the middle, right where you see the Chargers defensing blitzers, I should say.
Kevin Falk in the backfield now. Play clock down to 1. 3rd and 5. Brady. Rush coming. He gets rid of it. Kevin Falk down the sideline and a first down for New England. Oh, what a big play for this Patriots offense.
Look at the pressure on Tom Brady. Coming off the top, there's Gerald Dixon. He's coming in, he gets the hit, but he's poised. This is a touch pass, very difficult pass to complete, but he has touch on it. He lofts it over the head of the oncoming defender, gets it right over to Kevin Falk, who makes the catch without breaking stride.
Down to the 26-yard line, and now Vinatieri can breathe a little easier. A 1st and 10 for New England. Handoff, Smith. And again spilled out for a loss on the play. He lost 3 on that run, and Orlando Ruff read it perfectly.
Ruff came up to make the tackle. Patriots haven't been able to really manufacture any rushing yards today. It's been very tough for them to run the football.